Hello and welcome to BUNGUYAN Reserve. Here we are at TYABB. I am Daz. I got Neil beside me, and we are here for the Jack Peacock Cup here on a beautiful and almost a little bit too warm Tuesday evening, Nilo. But you've rocked out in the shorts. You've made the smart decision. I'm back in the jeans. I think I've got to give them up for the summer now. This is 2 in a row. This is not good. But TYABB have won the toss, selected to bat. We're about to get started. TYABB v Muraduck, and I welcome you, Neil.
Thanks very much, Daz. Yeah, it's very interesting. They're going to open up with Robbie Hearn and Aidan Pateman. There is a marquee player. There's quite a few marquee players in this round, and we'll talk about those as the evening progresses. But it'd be Sineth from Elstonwick, who probably be first drop for TYABB, they're saying. But here we go with Reece Cordeaux, going to bowl to Robbie Hearn.
And that's been flicked away to fine leg to kick the scoring off. None for one after the first ball. Now, he doesn't have a headset on, so he can't reply to me, but we do have the master producer himself, Peter Susovich, working feverishly behind the scenes. And he owes me $10 for that nice intro, so I appreciate that, Sus. That's a good way to get us started.
Yeah, it's looking beautiful too. We could look at the monitors, and yeah, some great shots there. We hope you're enjoying them. And a total tonight of 7 games, so 6 plus us, and we'll keep in contact with most of those as the evening progresses.
Absolutely, we will, Nilo. I do get concerned when you start to get invested in every game but the one we're at, but I'm looking forward to it as we see the second delivery. That's down the wicket, half a chance back to the bowler. They're going to sneak through for a single. They've got to go keeper's end, but they'll get there. None for 2. Off 2 balls, it's a bit tip and run at the moment. The first single a lot more safe than the second one. I don't like the fact that that goes down as a half chance, Nilo. The amount of luck that goes into a caught and bowled. Yeah. A lot of times we just say they saved 4, or in that case 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. That one.
So none for 2 is the score. And I think they've got a smaller scoreboard set up that's got its back to us, Nilo, so we might have to keep...
We'll keep double checking, making sure
we'll try and keep it as best we can as we see the third delivery. In he comes, and that's left outside the off stump. Leaving the ball, it's an interesting tactic in T20 cricket, but you still need to give yourself some deliveries to get in. There's no point going the smack, Nilo, if all you're doing is going to get out.
Correct. Red Hill have the bye in the Southern Division tonight, and the other games on Sorrento playing Borneo, Rosebud and Rye, Main Ridge and Dramana.
So the 4th ball the over just played to point for no run. Hope you can stay with us throughout the evening. This is going to be a cracker. As we see the next delivery, it's back and across. That might be wide. It is wide. So the 7-ball curse, as Nilo's made famous, as his own. So that'll be none for 3 of 4 legal deliveries. And what are we seeing as a par score here, Nilo? We have seen some low scores because of the weather, so we know the grounds haven't played particularly as quick. I might get your answer after this delivery. As we see that gloriously played to mid-wicket for no run. What are you thinking as a par score on this ground?
Well, just thinking that in the first couple of weeks, 130 was a good score, and it won most games. The 3 or 4 sides that got there, that was enough. With a warmer day and a quicker ground, maybe 150 would be a very good score, you'd think.
I think it would, as that one's just dropped off the hip. It's the left-hander special, that one. That will finish the first over, will it? Or have I just counted to 6 and forgotten the wide? I have.
1 to go, yep.
Yep, still 1 to go. None for 4 the score. I'm liking the left-hand, right-hand opening combination. As we see the last ball, the first over. Hopefully it's not going to be, because that's going to be a wide as well. I don't know if you've got a patented 8-ball curse, Nilo, but if something happens here, we might have to get it out. So we're going to get 122 deliveries as a minimum for TYABB. Every extra, it's a coach killer. as we know, and as we end the first over, hopefully we will, as that's played to point. Not going to get a run there. So that should end the first over. It does. TYABB are off the mark. They're none for 4. Of course, this being brought to you by Bendigo Bank and the newest RPP main sponsor, thanks to our business network, Nilo. It's a pleasure to have Telstra on board.
Absolutely good to see them.
Of course, that was announced on Saturday when we saw Mount Eliza get the job done in a terrific bowling effort, it's got to be said, after drinks.
They were sort of just trailing, I thought, most of the day. Didn't think they quite made enough of their batting, and Heather Hill looked good. A couple of false shots, I reckon, made the difference. I guess we'll talk about that in the cricket show this week, but it's amazing how just one or two guys throw their wicket away, it just turns the game. And
caused some panic.
Yeah, it did, and gee, it was a great finish there by Mount Eliza.
Help me out here, Neil. They're bowling the second over from the same end.
Yes, they'll bowl 5 from that end.
Okay.
The theory is that it's a bit quicker if you bunch them up.
Okay, interesting.
And then after 5, you swing from the other end and do it that way. So,
well, I'll be the judge of that. Given
we'll soon see if it works.
Exactly, as we voiced our, not frustration, but our sort of chagrin, if you will.
Ethan Hutchins, the second bowler, who fell with the ball now, the lefty.
First ball was played to square leg for no run. That's the eyes went to the sky. It's one of the old cricket DVDs I used to have. It was a Mike Hussey batting book. He used to say, as soon as your eyes go to the sky,
I don't think Hussey would have liked it.
You've lost all control in your shot. And fortunately for the batsman, that's just gone down the wicket for no run. So a good start in the second over. 2 dots. You take that after a couple of wides in the first, left arm over the wicket. That's play. That's going to be a quick single to point, but a fumble in the field. That brings about some nice pressure.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep ticking them along. There used to always be a theory that the team who scored the most singles actually won most games in T20.
Yes, I remember you telling me this, Neil, when I was
quite,
with you.
I was quite surprised when I heard it, but sort of having a bit of a look at that, I think it's probably some truth in it.
I think it would be, as we get the third ball. That's why that's played into the gap. That's a really nice shot. The timing was exemplary, and that should go for 4. It has.
Yeah.
First boundary of the innings.
Yeah, lovely shot there by Pateman. Just worked it back with a point. Classic square cut. Hit down on the ball into the gap. Beautifully played.
And not the easiest with the left armour coming over the wicket. The ball could be going across you. It could be swinging into you. But he watched it beautifully. The timing, as Neil said, exemplary. And I'll tell you what, we are rushing through here, Neil.
It's good to see.
We're almost, we've had the 2 extra deliveries and we're nearly 2 overs in. And it feels like we've just sat down. As we see, another nice shot into the offside, but sometimes you see it, Neil, in T20 cricket, you can actually time the ball too well if it goes straight to a fielder.
Yes, that's right. You miss out on your chance of scrambling through for a single.
We talked about the singles, of course. Matt Renshaw for Queensland only a week or so ago refused some singles and then ran himself out after making a very nice ton. As we see another wide ball, and that's going to beat the man again.
Nice shot.
On the offside, and I don't think that hand on it has helped it at all. It hasn't. That's run away for 4 as well, and this has been a very damaging second over here for TYABB.
Quite productive. In fact, talking about those singles, you made the observation on Saturday's game that both sides probably missed a few, left a few out there with their batting.
Yeah, they did, and it wasn't just singles either. They were ones that could have been 2s. There were some 2s that could have been 3s as well, so it all adds up. You don't want to be leaving them on the park for sure, especially batting first, as we see a flat bat shot. That's out.
And he's caught. Good catch.
Was it?
Oh, maybe not. No,
what's happened there?
Gee, looked like
a regulation.
Yeah. Didn't think I saw a no-ball call.
Ball? I didn't know. Okay.
Anyway,
we've missed something.
9 off the over. The 1 and 2 4s, I suspect.
Yeah, absolutely. So that will end the over, and I think that'll take us nearly to none for 13.
Yep.
After 2, good start. 6.5, that'll get you 130 in this caper, and that's, I think, we've got to see as par.
Pearsdale having a bat against Flinders, just for later reference, and Balnarring batting against Baxter.
All right, we'll keep an eye on those scores and more as they develop. Of course, we'll have plenty to talk through throughout, Nilo. I've got to commend you and Rob for something on Saturday as we see the start of the third over. That's a bit tighter, played down the ground, half stopped by the bowler. Not going to be a run there, but I do have to commend you and Rob. You picked the Astros. It wasn't going to go to Game 7. It didn't.
That's right.
So I saw in, I think it was an ESPN article, the most hated team in baseball.
They would be.
They definitely would be.
Stems back to 2017 when there was
the sign gate.
The sign gate.
Called.
Sign gate. Yeah.
Absolutely, but yeah. They're the champions. As we see a shorter delivery that was held back a bit.
Should be caught.
It should be, and it is. The ball just stopped in the pitch a little bit.
And
the timing, the timing wasn't there at all. They did cross, but that's the first wicket gone. Well bowled, back of the length. We hadn't seen it.
No, it sort of cramped him a bit. Maybe it got a bit big. I think it was more of a cramp, and he wasn't able to turn on that the way he would normally like to.
Absolutely. So that'll be 1 for 13, and we get Elstonwick's finest.
Yes, Mr. Seneth
coming out. Lefty as well, which I'm a massive fan of.
Yeah, replacing a lefty, Robbie Hearn left, and he's out for, I think, 3.
Yeah. So 1 for 13 the score for TYABB. But yeah, Suss has branded the Astros cheats, and I think there'd be a lot of sports fans that would agree with that. He's trying to blame it on a sneeze, but we're not copping that.
And
of course, we got T20 World Cup of South Africa. Just their DNA is choking, it seems. We'll talk a bit about that later. And I got half of my semi-final predictions right, and unfortunately it wasn't the Australian part. We'll talk a bit about that, so I hope you can stay with us as well. There's a quality game of cricket, absolutely. And of course we'll preview our Bendigo Bank match of the day for Saturday towards the end of the game as well. Hopefully we can have a fantastic battle between bat and ball.
what made the difference for the Astros in the end was Alvarez hitting a 3-run home run.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, it was 1-1, pretty tight all the way through. And in the late innings, he just planted one out of the ground. And if you're the pitcher and you had a bit of a look at where he threw it, belt high on the inside of the plate, you're going to get murdered most times in the majors.
Yeah, it's going to be deposited firmly in the stands. I've got a bit of a hot take about the baseball too, Nilo, that I want to run past you in just a tick. As we see the resumption of play, that's nice and full. Played straight to the fielder, and that was interesting by both batsmen. Between the two of them, they covered 3/4 of the pitch, but they didn't actually cross.
Didn't get anywhere.
And at the end of the day, it's not a run.
And Pateman, of course, facing at the moment the right-hander.
Absolutely.
Reece Cordo bowling.
Who got the wicket back of the length, but his 2 deliveries since have been full. That's a pet peeve. Yeah, it's a pet peeve of Rob's. He can't make it tonight, unfortunately, but we know that he hates it. There's 0 point to it, and I'll tell you what, if you don't get it right and it costs you some runs, Nilo, I think the captain might be staring at you.
Well, all we can do is wreck the ball or pops, perhaps give a rough bounce to the keeper.
Spot on, and that's got him. That's the slower ball.
Yeah, slow ball. Jammed him up. He tried to squeeze it.
Maybe the tactic worked, but it was very full. It was very slow, and TYABB right now are in a bit of trouble. After 2 overs, they were looking rosy.
Yes.
But now they've lost. This is a double wicket maiden so far. 2 for 13, TYABB. The Ducks up and about. They've got the, I'll tell you what they look like, Nilo. They've got the Tasmania State colours about them, Muraduck. They look pretty similar.
Yeah.
So I reckon Tassie early 2010s, they had the yellow at the bottom of their pants from memory.
Yeah, well, it's interesting the colours, how some people have gone for the retros. I mean, you Mount Eliza, you felt had a little bit retro with their coloured clothing on the weekend.
So both openers have departed.
Yeah.
We've got Seneth, the marquee player from Elstonwick, who's seen some action. He just hasn't faced any of it yet.
Yeah, I'll see if I can just confirm who the new batsman is.
Appreciate that, Neela. I'll run this solo. So what a third over this has been here at Bunguyan Reserve. Of course, big day of sport today, Tuesday, of course, all around us. Hope you can stay with us. The Jack Peacock Cup, as we see, played behind square. Timing might not be there, but you can forgive a batsman if it's his first ball. That's going to end the third over, and it's a double wicket maiden. I'll tell you what, in T20 cricket, that is worth more than gold. But it's 2 for 13, TYABB. As we see Nilo back in business. Were you able to confirm for us, Nilo?
Yes, Cam Taylor.
Cam Taylor, beautiful.
Cam's director of coaching here, and
he's going to have to be the director of this innings, I feel like.
well, that's right. So he's a good guy to come in at this stage.
So we're going to start the fourth over. So I'll give you my baseball hot take here,
Yeah,
Nilo.
good.
I think if you're an adult and you catch either a foul ball or you catch a ball in the crowd, I don't think you should have to give it to a kid. I don't know when this started, this culture, and I'm only 24, so you can't... people at home, if you're watching, listening, might be thinking this is an old-fashioned way of thinking. I am of a younger generation than perhaps most, and I think if you're going to put your bones in your hand on the line to catch a ball, if you can give it to your own kid, I've got no qualm with that, but the kid in front of you, come on, mate.
The part of it came from there was an incident a few years ago where some fella got a little bit over enthusiastic.
Oh boy, I'm looking forward to hearing the end of this as we see the start. That's played.
Charged into one of the ones. He's out in the bleachers, way at back past centre field.
Yep.
And he's dive over. He's basically given a hip and shoulder to a 9-year-old kid. And grabbed the ball and put his hands up cheering, and the kid's crying, and everybody in the stands booing him. And pretty much from then on, it sort of became, well, no, you give it to a kid. If you've got your own kid, otherwise one nearby. It was sort of came from social pressure, I guess, Daz, we'd say.
I'm not having that, as we see the first 2 balls as dots. So that's now 9 dot balls in a row, so 2 for none.
Wow.
Off the last 9 deliveries. So what a fight back from Murdoch.
It is, and Ethan Hutchins has just tidied his line a bit from those 2 fours that he gave in his first over.
And then how's that for a Moz? That's an absolute stitch up, as we see that one go down the leg side for a wide.
Leg side wide.
So we're 2 for 14 now for TYABB. So yeah, I'm just not having it, Neilo. I just think, you know, if you're able to keep footies, let's say if you're going along to the footy or cricket, of course. I don't know if you can keep them at the Big Bash, but you know. Let's fight. Let's bring the fight back. Not the physicality fight, of course, as we see this delivery a bit shorter, and like all good left-handers, just drops it off his hip for a single, so Seneth is off the mark.
I reckon one of the differences between cricket and baseball is baseball, Major League Baseball anyway, they go through so many balls because it's always a new ball. So if you're the pitcher, you've always got a new ball in your hand. So if it gets waxed out and someone catches it, okay, doesn't matter, there's another 30 in the
cost us 3 cents or whatever.
Whereas here, you know, the condition of the ball is so important in cricket that you've got to sort of keep it together. Otherwise, it's in the crowd, we'll grab another brand new one. Hang on, no, you won't, says the batting side. So there's a little bit of a difference in that, I reckon.
I rate that, as we see the follow-up from the wide. And once again, played behind square. So having a bit of trouble with his line.
Yes.
That's not going to get to the boundary, though. They are going to get 2. Well run in the end. That'll make it 2 for 17. In the 4th over. But there seems to be only 2 ways of doing things, and this is what the left-hand, right-hand combination is bringing. Yeah,
well, the right-handers playing cut shots has been the vast majority of the scoring so far.
Yeah, absolutely, it has been. Of course, we've already had the 3 wides in this game, so they were just giving themselves more to do, Murdoch. But they do have 2 wickets, so it kind of does balance out as we see this one wide outside off stump again. But no shot played. And of course, today we're talking about American sports. All 30 NBA teams played today because, of course, the US have got their midterm elections tomorrow. So that was fun. There's a bit of a...
They don't play on voting day, apparently.
No. They play on Christmas Day, but no, not on voting day. That would be too ridiculous. As we see the next delivery, that's slower. Down the leg side, that's hit the pad. The umpire's having none of it. It's going to be a leg by.
Good loud appeal, nothing in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leg bite. Well picked there, Daz.
Look down the leg side as well, so you can kind of see where the bat was going. But that is going to end the 4th over, and that is going to be 2 for 18 for TYABB. We haven't really seen any extraordinary shots yet. Hope you can stay with us throughout. So I actually went back. You could tell I had a really productive day at work today, Nilo, because I was going back through the last 4 times we've either been in studio or we've worked together.
Yeah.
Not only have my Celtics played, they've won. So,
wow.
you might be my good luck charm.
Okay.
Good win over Memphis today,
that.
of course. We'll take it. The last year's champions, Golden State Warriors, geez, didn't they get bailed out late today? An insane buzzer beater in Portland to Miami. Whew. If you're an NBA fan, I'll tell you what an exciting start to the season. And an exciting start to this game.
Indeed.
Muradoc have bowled. It's either been golden or it's been, let's just say, not golden. Nilo, I think, but we're going to start the 5th over. The last over from this end, that's nice
Big
and quick.
appeal.
Now, I don't know why you'd go on the back foot to a delivery that full,
No,
but they'll
not
get away with it, and I think it's going to be another...
Must have been a little bit of bat on that one.
The umpire's just said off the inside edge, which unfortunately the WBBL umpire didn't do the other day for the Renegades. That's
water under the bridge.
Hobart, I think it might have been. Just a howler. We still have human error in the world, Nilo. I know social media tells us we shouldn't, but they do.
Well, I think social media is probably the best example of human error.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Rye playing Rosebud, and between them there's 3 marquee players in there.
Goodness.
Although technically Nick Jewell's not because he's club coach, but Quiney and Bellal. Rye are batting, and they're none for 32 in 5 overs.
Wow, they're off to a ripping start.
Good little start there.
Absolutely.
And Sorrento batting against Bonio, and Bobby Wilson's up to 27 already. So they've got a bit of a fly start.
They do. A few of the teams batting.
27, I think, is the number, Pete, that he's confirmed.
So a few of the teams batting first are off to a fly up. We can't say TYABB are one of those,
no.
As we know, the further the innings goes, the better they'll be.
Interestingly,
Well,
those first few overs when there are field restrictions, some teams try to capitalise on it, and sometimes in trying to capitalise, it's when you come unstuck and lose those couple of wickets, because that's a key part of the game, really.
Spot on, as that one sort of dropped into the onside. Fine legs on the boundary and square legs quite straight, so there's going to be a single there all day as they bring up the next block of 10, as coaches like to call it, 2 for 20 TYABB. Of course, today brought to you by Bendigo Bank. Hope you can stay with us. That's full again. And that's played to point. Nicely timed again. A metre either side, and well, there's a couple of players at point actually, so probably going to struggle if you hit it a bit squarer, but a little bit finer.
And this
there's runs to be had.
New bowler, we probably didn't mention Michael Wincup bowling.
Big Mike, what's he got? He's got a sling. That's an edge, but that's flown. That has absolutely flown. That took less than 3 seconds to get to the fence.
Absolutely.
So the poor keeper didn't really have a chance at all.
He stuck his hand out, but it was a fair bit past him.
Yeah, I think the ball had gone halfway to the fence before I think the poor wicketkeeper had registered the fact it was coming to him. But that's going to be a boundary, and you can take them as a batting team any way you can get them. That'll be 2 for 24, TYABB.
Over number 5, of course.
Yep, so, 24. If they can get a couple of more runs here, 26, 27, you take that after 5. It's just the 2 wickets. Is that going to cost them in the end? As we see the next delivery short, wide, and that's the only cut shot they've seemingly missed. But that's the end of the 5th over, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. 2 for 24, TYABB.
The Mornington Peninsula Bowls region asks you to check out why lawn bowls in the Mornington Peninsula is just for you. It's fun, it's social, and it's affordable. That's right, it's fun, it's social, and it's easy to learn. There are over 25 bowls clubs on the Mornington Peninsula which offer free lessons and the free use of bowls. Get on the green now. Lawn bowls on the Mornington Peninsula is more than just a game. Station sponsor.
Back at BUNGUYAN Reserve, 5 overs in. They've had a change of ends. We've had 2 wickets. We've had some boundaries. We've had a catch. We've had the stumps knocked over. We've had a bit of everything. It's fair to be said, but 2 for 24. Muradoc get the points in that first block.
I think so, yeah. I think that's fair call. If they were able to restrict it like that, you're chasing 100 and you give yourself a real chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
was going to... phone's carrying on. All these phones, numbers that come up and you don't know the number. Yeah, so you...
Yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble with that at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of trouble.
There's people chasing the people that had my phone number before me.
Oh, right.
As we see the first over of spin played into the offside, and they'll take a single. It's not going to be too on offer as the man in the deep was onto it quickly. 2 for 25.
I haven't lost anything by blocking a number of people who have been ringing.
The more you block, the more pop up I'm finding, which is a problem. Yeah.
Well, they buy a whole lot of numbers from overseas.
Yes, yeah. But they ring me up and...
all 30 of them.
Yeah, if I get asked where's Belinda one more time by a person on the phone, I might just lose it, Nilo. Because...
Arch, make sure you're in the ring, yeah?
I'd like to think that my voice doesn't pertain me to sound like a
So
Belinda.
when I last saw her, she was heading your way with a machine gun. I don't know why.
My goodness, as we see the second ball, the 6th over, and that's a beauty outside off stump. Nothing getting past, so this is a...
I think that's Premathalaka bowling, who's a pretty handy spinner, but I'll double check that one in a moment.
Tell you what, that's short. That's going to be a wide down the leg side. It is. So that's going to be the 4th wide of the innings. Oh, apologies for that. Yeah, watches too. Pushed the wrong button then. As we see the next delivery, that's slower, wider. That's going to be an appeal, but on the back foot, very unlikely. Unless it's hitting below the knee roll, which I don't think it did on that occasion. They'll sneak through for a single. I think the umpire's going to give this leg buys. He has. So that's another run to the tally. So that'll be 2 for 27. As Nilo trawls his way back.
I was right, Premathalaka.
You were right. Trust your instincts, Nilo.
Yeah.
As we see that defended back to the bowler. So 2 for 27 the score. There's not going to be a whole lot of foot movement there. So the spin in the early overs, Nilo, you're not going to be bowling it slow and tossed up.
No.
Because you could be deposited. It's just going to be into the pitch, and that's played very nicely. They're going to want 2. They're going to look for 2. No hesitation. And that is good running. That is spot on running out there. As they passed, they would have said, let's go for 2. They both turned the batsman, and they both went. So that is the conclusion of the 6th over. 2 for 29 is the score for TYABB. And they're going to have to pick an over, I think, in the next couple, Nilo, to just accelerate a little bit. They don't have to go on a 4 or 5 over big stretch, but the last thing you want to do is get to like 2 for 80 off 15, and then you're going to have to try and
do some magic.
Yeah, that's it.
Bernie.
But both these batsmen have been in now for at least 2.5 overs.
You don't really get much of a time to settle in, do you?
No, you don't.
The T20.
The wickets in the first 5 overs, they're almost worth double.
Yep.
But I tell you what, I'm enjoying the pace of the game. We've had 5 extras, and it still feels like it's humming along.
It is.
As that's played into the offside. A little bit of a fumble, but it's not going to cost the Ducks. So if we had I remember going around, it might have been on Reddit, one of these fantastic social networks, Neil, I know that you'd be a part of. I'll keep going with this story at the end of this delivery. That's been played nicely down to fine leg. There's only going to be a single. But the old mascot wars, so if we could line up a Yabby and a duck, who do you reckon's taking that fight out? Whoa. Surely it would be the Yabby. I don't know. How tough are ducks? That might be not a very long conversation, but I'd back the Yabby in, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
The things we come up with, my goodness. As we see a nice defensive shot, we're going to have to see a little bit of something here from Seneth, I think. He hasn't really looked to attack at all.
Well, you don't want to use that same theory with your NBA then, because my team's the Pelicans.
That's a good point. That's going to be down the leg side, and they'll get another leg bite. Yep. However you get them, you'll take it. So you're a Pelicans fan, aren't you? Interesting.
Go on, Bernie.
I just thought it was great to be able to say, oh, we're a bit worried we're playing against the Pelicans. Ooh, therefore, there. I just like that idea.
Yeah, well, I'll ask you a question at the end of this delivery. So we see that's an aggressive shot. Is that going to be taken?
No,
It is.
He's out. Not enough. A bit
No.
more, bit of toe on it.
Never looked like enough at all. So that's the third wicket down, and they're in massive trouble here. TYABB, that's going to be 3 for 31. We're in the 7th over. So all the points at the moment going to Muradoc, and if you take out, I think, the 7 extras at the moment, Nilo, it would be an almighty start. But you're not going to complain, 3 for 31. But do you know the sponsor of the New Orleans Pelicans home court?
No, I can't help you there.
They're the Smoothie King Centre.
Okay.
So not a lot of intimidation going on in New Orleans at the moment.
No, that's right. I still can't work out why Utah become the Jazz and New Orleans aren't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Someone who knows the history will be messaging us in, probably going, it's because of this. But I think the Jazz have been from Utah all the way through. We've had some teams cross over and all this. But anyway, back to the cricket. TYABB are going to need a partnership.
Hit him on the toe.
Sort of an 8-over kind of partnership to just set some sort of platform, something to chase. It's been a fantastic start, must be said. We're not even 7 overs in, and they've already picked up a third of the wickets. As we see,
Winged up again.
nice shot through mid-wicket, but there's a man out.
Time.
Yeah, there's a man out in the deep, so they'll get the single. And the umpire's sort of glancing, but that is the end of the 7th over. And that'll be 3 for 32, TYABB.
I might just double check how many runs the out batsmen have got, Daz.
Okay, fantastic. So the 8th over will be a spin once again. Of course, some NFL being played today as well. The Baltimore Ravens getting the job done by a couple of touchdowns over again the New Orleans Saints. We talked a lot about New Orleans, but they've got the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, which we approve of that name. Smoothie King Centre. My goodness. TYABB are on the back foot here. And the batsman will be on the front foot, but they're going to need to get something going here.
Time down, really good here.
Jack Peacock Cup live from BUNGUYAN Reserve. Thank you to Bendigo Bank. 8th over. He's already underway. And that's been hit on the pad. That's a loud shout. And the umpire took about 0.8 of a second to realise that ain't hitting the stumps, boys. So let's keep playing. Nilo, you got some scores for us?
Yeah, Hearn ended up with 3, Pateman 9, Taylor 8. Sunith is on 5 at the moment, and the new batsman is Holland Birch, who's now 2.
And he's played that out to deep mid-wicket for a single. So I think that'll take us to 3 for 34. I think I've missed a run there, so I think it's 3 for 34. Might get you to confirm at the end of the over, Nilo, just because we haven't got the big scoreboard up at the moment. As we see, the lefty just, every left-hander loves the leg side. I still haven't met one, Nilo, that can't play on the leg side. No matter what grade of cricket it is, you could be 8, 18 or 80.
Yep.
But if there's anything on middle or leg stump, it's going to be played. And there you go, there's a loft, and it's going to beat the man in. And they're going to come back for 2. There's a little bit of hesitation, and that ball's gone across the middle of the pitch. So
Wasn't quite sure which end, so he went down the middle.
That's it. That's 50 cents each way, Nilo. 3 for 35 to score for TYABB.
Might be 36. I've got 2 out of that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. I knew I'd missed a run there somewhere. I didn't know it would be a future one, but that's okay. And that one has been played to the man at mid-on for no run.
Our effects mic's working overtime tonight.
Absolutely. It is. A couple of juniors have finished a hit, so
yeah, dragging their bags across the asphalt.
The Grey Nichols wheels just hitting the concrete, which we love, but that's going to be the end of the over. 3 for 36 the score.
Bernie, hit him on the toe, mate. Need boundaries here, Bernie. They need boundaries.
So TYABB right now, they can't afford Nilo to be in survival mode. Still need to look to score.
Oh, well, yes, got it. And I guess the way to start really is just working the ones and twos. And Holland Birch
Oh,
is
misfield,
he's
hello.
coupling out.
Well, if you heard through the effects mic, that's going to go for 4. So if you heard through the effects mic, the field is shouting they need boundaries.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that as a fielding team you've got to give it to them.
No,
Nilo.
exactly. That's right. They're not under any compulsion
No,
to make the game more interesting.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
Shows you how quick the ground is, though.
Yes.
Anything that's got past the field is just race for 4.
Yeah,
There's been 4 of them.
Getting some good weather on the Mornington Peninsula, which has been badly needed for all cricketers, junior and senior. Out there, 3 for 40 is the total at the moment. As we see, this one fairly straighter, and it's going to beat the man mid-wicket. Fielded it on. That's going to be a single.
Bernie.
So we're into the 9th over. The run rate's still not terrible for 3 down.
Yeah.
If they can end this over nicely. But again, we'll see how 3 down fits as we see a man go to the fence, or halfway to the fence at point. So it's going to be a single there, you'd think. And that's lofted, but there's going to be no fielder there. That's out to the man in the deep from Seneth, the Elstonwick import, for a single.
Looks a handy bat. We haven't seen him hit his top gear yet.
No, it hasn't looked, but he hasn't looked flustered at all.
No, not at all.
Let the ball come to him. I'm excited to see what he can do if he starts to up the pace. As that ball's just played down the wicket for no run. So, of course, throughout the day, we'll keep you up to date with all the Jack Peacock Cup scores as they come in. We'll let you know the game that we'll be doing on Saturday. As we see this once again being cut, and that's better fielding. And, he's out.
That's a run out.
That's, wow.
Throwing him down.
That's, they gave up a 4, and TYABB have grossly underestimated the power of the fielding, and it's the Elstonwick import himself, Seneth, who's been run out, and that is a disaster for TYABB. That'll be 4 for 42. And Nilo, that is, well, we've seen some coach killers this afternoon. That could be the worst of them.
Well, yeah. It was good bit of fielding. And they had to work the ones and twos, but well.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You can almost smell the barbecue from here.
It's almost Nilo, of course. Good people down here at TYABB. Not sure if I can repeat the first thing I was asked when we rocked up here. Okay. Susser said that I can. The first thing I got asked is, have you got enough cord, mate? And I said, yes. The second thing I was asked was, when does the bar open?
Why were they asking you? That's the bit I'm not sure about.
I don't know.
No.
You know, I've got the body shape of someone that had cooked the barbie and eat the barbie, Nilo. I'm not sure if I've got the bartender look about me.
Oh, it's a bit unfair. All right, so I've got a couple of scores. Rye, 2 for 51 off 10. Crib Point, 5 for 55 off 10.
Repeat
They're
that one for
playing
Crib Point.
5 for 55 from 10, playing Somerville.
Tell you what, haven't Somerville turned it around since I tipped them?
Yeah, you jumped into them and now they're starting to play some really handy cricket. Michael Wallace from Casey is their marquee player today. Rob Quiney is the marquee player for Rosebud, as mentioned. Bilal for Rye. And and Matty Wilson for Sorrento. So there are a few around, which is great to see. It's a great innovation, that, I reckon.
Yeah, spot on. As we see this one played into the onside, that's come off the bat. Could be another run out. Geez, what's worse than one run out? It's going to be 2 run outs, and even worse than that, 2 in a row. Yeah,
Winkup following up on his follow through, and would have been pretty close if it hit.
Yeah, it would have. That's 9 overs gone. 4 for 43. Again, the 43, not the worst base in the world, but 4 down. I think the juniors have finished training. A lot of them have stuck around. Good on them. Hope they get up on Saturday. The weather report, not that I'm quite of the same knowledge as Nilo, but Suss has given me a pessimistic gesture. Suss predicting we'll be in the hammock. Not the same hammock I would have thought, Suss. Not the same hammock, you and I don't think. No. As we're into the 10th over, about to be into the 10th over. Score on a Tuesday evening at Bunguyan Reserve. There's some dark clouds. that are threatening, and I hope it doesn't rain because we don't have a lot of shelter where I am at the moment. So there might be a little bit of a radar check. Nilo did promise us 6 days of rain, 6 days of sun. Sorry, this is day 5, so if the rain does come, it's on him. As we see the start of the 10th over, that's a slower ball to a left-hander. Highly recommend. It's come off a leading edge, and they could get an overthrow here. They're not going to. Some nice backing up in the deep. So the first ball of the 10th over going for a single. 4 for 44 the score. Beautifully symmetrical as Nilo's back.
Yeah, Josh Westwater, the new bowler. Good young kid. They had a couple of games last year and looked pretty handy for them.
He's tall.
Yes.
Got a good build on him. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can produce this afternoon. It's not the biggest run up, but he gets some nice momentum through his delivery stride as that's been whacked to the deep. And is the man going to come around? He is, but it's fumbled a bit. It'll only cost them 1. So 4 for 46 will be the score.
And Rhodes is the new batsman who's joined Holland Birch. Holland Birch got the 2 there then. He's top scorer at this stage. Big, strong bloke, hitting the ball pretty well.
And if those shoulders open up towards the back end of the innings, we could get some fireworks. TYABB are going to need them because there's a bit of feeling around here, Nilo. They could get up to 150 or they could be all out for 90.
Yep.
It kind of doesn't feel like an in-between at the moment. As we see the next delivery slow again, wide. That's been played in front of square nicely. They could get 2 here if they're quick. They are. They're not going to let the run out deter them. Some nice running there. They'll pick up another 2. And that'll take them to 4 for 48. So they're approaching the half century as a team. And of course, we'll keep you updated with all the Jack Peacock Cup scores throughout the evening. We've got the master producer himself, the chief, Peter Susovich, working behind the scenes.
He's a legend, isn't he? Balnarring are playing Baxter. They're 3 for 75 off 13, so they're pushing through their overs well.
Absolutely they are. As we just see another slow wide one that's been taken by the keeper, but it's going to be a wide.
And the
slow and very wide.
The official scorers have got the score on 52.
Oh, they do?
So, yeah.
Geez, how bad am I going?
No, only the one out. I think there was, I don't know where it came, but there was an extra one in there.
Okay, so 52. The total there. That's in the air, but that's not going to be taken. That's going to be on the bounce. Yeah, I'm as perplexed as you, Sus. But that's okay. 4 for 53 the score. Apologies for that, watchers and listeners.
We will double check as we go, because things happen.
Yeah, they do. I'm not going to talk any badly about the scorers. I'm going to back my own ability, though. Might be somewhere in between there, but we'll take the scorers, of course.
In between them.
As we see that just flicked away. That's beating the fielder. That's going to be 4.
Yep.
Good shot.
That's Harry Rhodes. Good shot there.
Yeah, very good shot. Nice timing. It's been a well-timed over, actually. And that'll take them to 4 for 57. As we approach the halfway point of the innings. If they can continue to cash in this over, they'll give themselves a base. And in T20 cricket, sometimes that's all you need. Look at the South Africa-Netherlands game. We'll talk about that in just a tick, Nilo. My goodness, the history of the South Africans. That's down the leg side as well. Sorry, the offside, I should say. What am I doing? They'll sneak through for a single, though. So they'll take them to 4 for 58. That will be a bite. And that'll end the 10th over. So we're halfway through. 4 for 58, the total.
Yeah, so most teams were around about that. As you said, Rye were 51 for 2.
Yep.
Crib 5 for 55. Balnarring a little better, 3 for 75. I'll just double check what Sorrento I've got to now, because they got off to a...
No worries, let's go to a break. We'll be back right after this.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
We're back at BUNGUYAN Reserve. We're halfway through TYABB's innings. And it's been a mixture of up and down. 4 for 58 is the score. Neil's still alongside me, as he will be all evening. The clouds, they're looking worse, but they are on the move, Neilo. It's kind of...
There's a couple of funny little patches drift across the northern suburbs, and every now and then the edge of it just creeps around bits of the peninsula. But they're pretty narrow.
That's the...
So you'd be a bit unlucky if your copter burst.
Yeah, the first ball of the 11th over. Just tipped and run. The ball just stopping in the pitch there. 4 for 59 the score. We've had... Well, not only is he the master producer, the president of the peninsula, he's our chief meteorologist. That being Peter Susevich.
Oh, look, he absolutely, no, he's safe. That's good. Good move, Pete. I like that story. Sorrento, after their 10 overs, 1 for 83. Rye, 3 for 73 off 12. So, yeah, most of the scores we've got here. Pearsdale were batting against Flinders, so we'll update that one in a moment too.
Fantastic. As we see, that played nicely straight. They haven't got any kind of predominant runs through mid-on or mid-off all day today, TYABB. So Muraduck deserve a pat on the back for that. As TYABB into the 60s. 4 for 60. So 1994, Nilo. 1999. I'm talking about South Africa choking. Of course, 2015, I think they lost the semi to New Zealand, although I think they got smacked that day, as we see that one down the leg side. So that's going to be a wide. I think that's now the 9th or the 10th extra. My goodness. Just giving themselves more to do, but it's nothing worse. We remember England lost to Bangladesh, I think it was, in the 2015 World Cup, and geez, weren't they ridiculed? And South Africa won the toss. They bowled, which was strange. It was just an extraordinarily bad day all round, as the Yorker is stubbed into the pitch by the batsman, and that's a comfortable single in the end. Nilo, have you got any kind of explanation about South Africa's troubles in ICC tournaments?
I think it's so much talked about, the players hear about it, so it becomes psychological. That's the only explanation. It's got to be mental.
Yes.
And if it keeps happening, you start thinking, oh, you know, it's going to happen to us, instead of thinking the other way around. Plenty of other ways of thinking, as we see in AFL, mate.
Oh, that's lovingly played. That's in the gap.
Beautiful
Who says
shot.
they can't score on a bit off?
Yeah, great
Fantastic shot.
Great
And that
shot
will
by
take
Holland
TYABB to, I think, 4 for 66. Yes, it will be. So they're looking a bit more confident in this 5th wicket pair, but yeah, Neil, I'm with you. I think every time it comes up, it's getting more and more difficult for them. Temba Bavuma, South African captain. It'll be a long flight back to Africa. They'll be home already, but my goodness. How did they let that slip? Good on the Dutch too, by the way. I think a lot of...
They've played very well.
Yeah, I think a lot of Aussie cricket fans have sort of jumped on their bandwagon, and Ryan Campbell, the former Western Australian, well, he's always going to be a Western Australian, isn't he, Neilo? But he's heading them up, and made some comments during the week that instead of teams playing county sides, they go to England, they should be playing these countries like the Netherlands and such to get their experience up, as well as there's going to be emotional investment in every game. And I loved it. I agreed. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good. It's a good thought, and they'd be one of the sides who've really performed a lot better than people would have anticipated, I think, before the World Cup.
Spot on, as that's short and
That's
played
well.
very straight, and nearly has flayed the bowler. And the boundaries here at TYABB quite deep, so they'll get it comfortable too. That's good running. And the momentum, I'm not saying it's shifted. Not in an extraordinary way anyway, but until Muraduck take another wicket, TYABB are only going to get more and more comfortable.
They are, and Holland Birch is taking the lead here for TYABB.
So we see this ball, that's fallen slow, but it's down the leg side. Well taken by the keeper in the end. So we're going to get an extended 11th over here. But yeah, obviously Australia, if we're going to play an Ashes series, I think playing a warm-up test against Ireland, playing one against the Netherlands, maybe playing one against Scotland. I don't know whether Scotland are playing Test cricket, but I think that's going to bring...
Doesn't mean you can't play them in a four-day fixture.
That's a
or
full
5-day
toss.
fixture.
Not going to be called a no ball, but they're going to get a single. No, they're coming back for 2.
Ooh,
Taking on the
fumble.
arm, and that's 2 out of 3 misfields. Unfortunately for TYABB, the third was a run out of their marquee player, Seneth, but 4 for 71. This has been a very, very good 11th over.
Yeah, excellent.
So they're well over a run of ball, and wickets in the shed. If they can keep this up, there is still a very, very good score on the board that could be on offer.
Yeah, key part of the game here. and I don't know whether who Murdoch can use just to quell it. I mean, I think they're more thinking about who they're going to use as their finishers, but if you lose your way in the middle. So
12th over is set to begin.
yeah, and Westwater again.
These clouds are going to go over, Neil.
Hey?
I'm with you. I think the clouds are going to go over.
Yep.
Might cop it in my joint, but I'm not there, so it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So we see the start of the 12th.
Ooh.
That's a slow ball that's been nicked,
Wow.
and that's going to beat the keeper and the man out at backward point. Geez, the ground is quick. That's nearly gotten to the boundary off an outside edge, and that's a rocket arm too, but they'll pick up a couple.
It was a slower delivery, missed time, bit of an edge. Didn't fly, but
Yeah.
it rolled well.
They did, 4 for 73, the score. Of course, a couple of Australian squads announced today, the one day and the test. Of course, the one day is against England starting only a week away. I think 8 days, as we see another slow ball to a left-hander. That's in the air, but there is no one out
Good
there.
shot.
The sweeper's not going to stop that given the quality of the surface, and that's gone for 4. And TYABB are well and truly back in this, 4 for
Absolutely.
77.
Yep. Flying along nicely now. And both batsmen now are accelerating. And so Murdoch now have to, I don't know whether they've got a bowling option number 6 or not, but they've got to change it up very, very soon. Big appeal, not out.
Another leg bite. I like the appeal, but I just...
No, you thought a little bit of inside edge on that one, I thought. Yeah.
They were able to get through for a single. There was probably one there anyway, given the ball didn't really go anywhere. But
Yeah.
you just want to be. Got some momentum. Both batsmen are looking comfortable. You just want to keep them uncomfortable. So that's what charge. That's going to be well fielded.
And that's about the only spot you could stop a single. Just straight to that guy. There was lots of gaps on both sides.
Yeah,
and,
spot on.
Picked him out there.
So I'm curious to hear your reaction to the test squad, Nilo, and we'll talk about it a bit in just a second. As we see another slow delivery that's been smacked. Is
Gonna
that
make
hit the
it.
gap?
Yeah,
Is that going to be
won't-
4? It is.
I won't cut that one off.
Here we go. The acceleration is here. 4 for 82 the score. And that's going to... No, it's not going to finish the over. We'll have a bit more. So the 11 that we expect. The 11 that's become custom for the Aussies now being Warner, Khawaja, Labuschagne, Smith at 4, Head 5, Cam Green 6. I'll continue this train of thought in just a tick. As we see the backup being a bit of a bunted ball, if I can use the baseball term. Down for a single, 4 for 83 the score. So Carey, the wicket keeper, the 3 bowlers we know and love, maybe Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood, Nathan Lyon, the spinner, and then the 2 men who come in as well, the batsman being Marcus Harris, the bowler being still doesn't have a statue but should. What are your thoughts about that 13?
Predictable. I think that's fine. I think we know the best test team. We just don't know our best T20 team. And a bit of chop and change going on. A few people have made the comment about it that the strategy didn't seem really strong, especially in that game where they needed to get a big run rate, and Maxwell, who's likely to give you a good run rate, bats at 6, ends up 54 not out. I mean, if you'd add a few extra overs, makes 80. Does that make it? I don't think it makes a difference, but it just would help.
We never had an anchor, and we had the best in the world in Steve Smith. So on the sidelines, we didn't pick any T20 specialist bowlers.
Yeah.
Nathan Ellis on the sideline, Kane. Richardson. Kane got a run, but
Yeah, on the numbers, I reckon Zampa was the best bowler.
Yeah.
It sort of shows.
And he's
shows
20
that.
specialist.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness. But yeah, Marcus Harris is an intriguing one as we see the beginning of the new over, and that's
Lovely
another
shot.
beautiful shot straight. They'll only pick up the single. So there's a man at deep cover. There's a man at sort of half to long on. Long off, sorry. There is a long on. There's no real wicket threat.
No, there's a heck of a lot of gaps.
Square leg, there's a good gap at fine leg between fine leg and square leg here. There's only one man covering about 45 metres worth of worth of turf here. So if Muraduck are wrong, although to the left-hander that's going to be a bit more unlikely, there are runs to be had. And there's going to be even more if they're going to keep bowling wides. So the score, I think, now has gone to 4 for 85, Neil. I've just had a little bit of a freeze here. I think it's 4 for 85. I might have to confirm the end of the over.
We'll go. Well, I'll double check the end of the over. Rye 5 for 86 off 14, so we've caught up a bit. We're one of the slower battings, and now have caught up a bit. Oh, hello, that's something. Yeah, and a wide, yeah.
A wide, yeah. So given the fact that we're up there in terms of overs, and we've had, I think that's now the 7th wide.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the pace.
Yeah, done pretty well.
So how far are they in? So they're 56 minutes in. The barbie is smelling delicious, to be honest. I'm hoping they're looking overgoing. I think those boys might need a sausage or something.
They've been talking a lot. They need a bit of sustenance, yeah.
Absolutely. Let's look after them. That's down the leg side as well, but I think that's come off the pad.
Yeah, flick the pad.
Yeah.
Umpire's signalling that.
Yep. So nice, healthy communication there, which we like.
Yeah.
Marcus Harris, Nilo, do you think he's a part of the Test team going forward, averaging 58 in the Sheffield Shield? At the moment, I think he's the 4th highest scorer, but you think of guys maybe like a Henry Hunt who might not be getting the runs, but Matt Renshaw got a double ton. Peter Hanscom not named as well, but he might be in the Harris category as we see the ball just, again, stop in the pitch, which is going to bring an easy single every time, 4 for 86.
I think what can work against Fells and probably against Harris is that there are a couple of opportunities when there was there was a position open and he didn't take it.
Yeah,
he had a flat spot, didn't get the runs, didn't jump in, and I reckon selectors remember that and they say, well, gee, tried him once and he didn't make the most of his opportunity, and sometimes they can be a bit reluctant to give him a second chance. So
absolutely, there's a fumble in the field that's going to bring another run. So that'll make it 4 for 88. Yeah, I'm with you. There's a little bit of the, and I don't mean this with any disrespect because I think the way he turned around his white ball career has been extraordinary, but there's a bit of Mitch Marsh feel about it. Yeah. Chance after chance. Now, of course, Marsh made a fantastic 180, I think it was in Perth against England, and then he made another ton with Sean in Sydney, so you could say that paid off a bit as we see this ball dug into the pitch, but just played nicely to the man at backward point, or a bit of a gully region for a single. 4 for 89 the score. I'm the CEO of the Marcus Harris fan club, I'm going to be honest with you, but yeah, you just got to wonder if he does get one more chance. It just, I think he needs to know it's the last chance, and whatever pressure comes of that.
Well, yeah, if he deals with it, how he deals with it, and that determines the future, doesn't it?
Yep, spot on. As we see this one, a bit full and a bit slow and beating the batsman. I like it, change of pace.
Yeah, I think when Hutchins hits the right line, he's been pretty awkward, but he's just given him a few more opportunities.
So if you could confirm with us the score, Nilo, because I think it's 4 for 89, and I think that'll be the end of the 13th. It's been a really, really good fight back by the TYABB boys here. The Yabbies, they're not going to give up without a fight for sure. Plenty going on as well, brought to you by Bendigo Bank. And of course, if you are a local business owner and you want to get involved with the RPPFM Sports Business Network, you can get a hold of info at rppfmsports.com.au. Packages starting from just $20 a month. My goodness, 4 coffees. What are you going to do? There's a slower ball to the right-hander that's just been put into the deep, in the air, and that's going to beat everyone. That's gone for 4, surely. No! Geez, that's an insane amount of ground that's been covered out there by the man at essentially long off, who's come around and saved that. That's very, very good fielding. So that's going to bring up a couple. I thought for sure that was going to go for 4. So for $20 a month, we can get your local business advertised all across RPP FM Sport, as that's outside off stump. As Nilo is just about to join us.
You did well, Daz. It was 89, it was after 13, and it was 4 out. So you're absolutely spot on.
Look out. Might be a second career for me.
Counting.
4 for 91, I do. Yeah. That's Nilo, as that's a slower ball that's been pushed into the gap for a single. They're going to want 2, and they're going to get it. Geez, I'm not sure if the Muraduck fieldsman there put 100% of his effort into that chase, and I'm just starting to see a little bit of sloppiness here, Nilo.
Yes, I agree. Holland Birch has moved on to 33.
Yeah, he's been the catalyst. Yep.
And Harry Rhodes is on 15. He's He's fitted in nicely in this little interlude.
He has, and that's a 5-yard penalty for a false start. To the 14th over, the run rate's looking beautiful.
Much better.
Right
Much
now
better.
for TYABB, and it's happened in the blink of an eye. That's played behind square again, but there's a man there, no run. So of course I'll bring up the one-day squad in a tick, Nilo, and we'll get...
You're talking 50 overs, aren't you?
Yep, 50 overs, yep. So Cummins, of course, Pat Cummins will begin his one-day captaincy against England, so the best ODI team in the world, and I'd argue in the last 4 or 5 years, there's a slow ball full toss is going to be played. They're going to want 2. They're going to come back for it. They are not. A little bit too much hesitation there, and probably a good call on the throw. So he's going to, I would argue, that England team of maybe the last 4 years, probably the best white ball team I've seen. Neil, I know it's about the Poms, and we don't want to be saying it, but in alphabetical order, we got Cummins as the captain, Agar, Carey, Green, Hazelwood, Head, Labuschagne, that you'll recognise, of course, from the test team, along with Smith, Stark, Warner.
Yeah.
Specialists that they'll have brought in just a tick, as we see a little bit. Oh, that's been skied.
Up in the air.
This
Should
is
be
going to be a
forward.
great
No, he's
catch.
in
It can
trouble,
be
though.
taken, but it's going to land safe.
Yeah, I think he lost it a bit in the sun and didn't get in hard enough for him.
The sun is behind us, so that's going to be a difficult one. Tell you what, everything's coming up TYABB at the moment.
Yep.
So I'll just those one-day specialists, as I think we've seen the end of the 14th over. We have that single will bring up 4 for 95.
Correct.
So Ashton Agar, Tech, big fan there. Mitch Marsh, Glenn Maxwell, and Marcus Stoinis and Adam Zampa. So again, probably a predictable squad.
I like Stoinis being in there, and you got to have Maxwell in because he's such a dangerous player in the limited version. I always worry about Mitch Marsh because he can be red hot, and when you really want him to, that doesn't work out. So
yeah, it can be.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure about that, but the other ones I think good call.
Travis Head, of course, was being confirmed by the Aussie selectors by George Bailey that he's going to open the batting. So he's going to get first crack at Aaron Finch's spot. And of course, he averages 58 in List A cricket, Nilo, opening the batting in white ball cricket. So undoubtedly, he gets that go. I think he's hit 5 tons. And I remember he hit a ton against Pakistan. I reckon it was against Adelaide, where he beat David Warner in his own game coming out of the block. So good on Travis Head.
Yep.
Good little South Australian fella. As we see this, a bit of a slower ball played into the offside, and another little bit of sloppiness by Muradak there. I'm all for you chastising yourselves in the field, but the best way to stop it, Nilo, is the next time it comes to you, you take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so 96 the score for 4 in the 15th over. And the most disappointing thing there is that Holland Birch is going very, very well. They might have been able to restrict Rhodes for a couple of deliveries, but bang, first one he faces.
Oh, chance.
It's got a hit.
Oh, he doesn't hit.
No, it was close.
4 for 97 the score.
Just about on line, very close.
Yeah, just bounced over the stumps from this angle.
Yep.
Of course, the fantastic cameras that are set up would probably have had a better look, but
I know they think skipping it in is good. It is if you play on a bowling green.
Of course, the things you see at local cricket,
Yeah.
as we see this delivery, a slow, wide Yorker, but we've just had a beautiful chocolate-coloured dog just walk past us, Nilo, and just going for a trot. You don't see that at the MCG,
chocolate.
let me tell you.
Milk chocolate.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't let my my missus hear too much of this.
Oh,
she's
wants a dog.
Yeah, she's on to me. We just don't have the space, Nilo. That's just the truth. As we see this off the edge. Good luck catching that. Oh no.
It was spinning.
Oh,
and,
I don't know, Nilo. You're not copping that.
No. What I'm saying is it was spinning and he's let it drop past his eyes. So there's two challenges. And if you're having it real low like that, you're just limiting your chances. That wasn't handled well at all.
This has been 5 overs of borderline disaster for Muradak in the field. Oh boy. And
well played,
that'll be played in the offside. This is another half a chance, but good running on that occasion.
Yep.
So that's 4 for 99. So they're approaching the ton. Here the Yabbies. My goodness. So, of course, still plenty of cricket going on around the Jack Peacock Cup. Nilo's going to deliver us some scores, hopefully soon, as we see this delivery again. Full wide Yorker. Not called a wide, so a good finish to the over. It had some good shots, a dropped catch. It was a bit of a sitter, let's be honest, but it's 4 for 99. And full of overs to come.
Yeah, couple of extra scores here. Crib Point 7 for 73.
Oh boy.
Main Ridge 4 for 95 in their game. It's the first score we picked up from Main Ridge, playing against Dramana. And gee, that's just about the first game played at Main Ridge. They've had a lot of problem with washouts there.
So we'll keep you up to date with all those scores, of course. Thank you to Bendigo Bank. There's just been a big load of silence has just come around Bungowan Reserve there. I'm not sure what's going on, but
the kids stopped dragging their cricket bags.
I can't complain too much, Nilo.
No,
I used to
not
do
at
it all
all.
the time. So we're going to get the last block of 5 overs here. So 15 in, 4 for 99, and all of a sudden, 8 and over from here gets you 140. I think that's got to be the pass mark now, Nilo.
Yeah. Well, I think they'd have done a very good job if they get that to that mark.
So it's up to you now, TYABB. Let's. The platform's been built. What can you do with it?
Now, Balneario just lost their way a little here. Lost a couple of wickets in the last couple of overs. 7 for 114 in the 19th over. So from looking like they were really flying to just slowed with Robinson, Kay, Shepherd and Regan all out.
And another chance in the field. Not taken via a run out, and those 2 runs will bring up the ton for TYABB. That'll be 4 for 101. And this is just the most singles, Nilo.
Yep.
TYABB in the running between the wickets has been unreal. Yes, it did cost them a wicket, but overall they're not going to complain. They're going to rush through for another single here. It's not going to be overthrows on this occasion. 102 for 4 the score.
Pearstyle 2 for 148. That's a good effort. In the 18th over, and Blake Eklund, who's probably their best bat in my view, 57 not out off 46 at this stage. So Pearstyle might end up with the highest score of the day, the way things are looking.
Yeah, that's an outstanding going from Pearstyle there. So the sun's back out. The clouds are disappearing more and more by the minute. And that ball just bunted back to the bowler for no run.
Sorrento gone on to 1 for 131 in the 17th over.
A couple of
Sorry,
outrageous.
3 for. 3
3 for?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a little better.
Not for Sorrento.
No,
it's got to be said.
Yeah, true.
So that single there. So TYABB are just ticking along nicely at the moment. So 4 overs to come after this, and they're just going to go after this over. It's fair to say you don't want to lose a wicket here, but that's just going to be put into. They're going to want 2. They're going to come back for 2. Oh, hesitation on the throw. A good decision. The 4 for 104 the score. So Muradak, what have they got?
Pramathalaka again.
That's-
Big appeal and he's out.
Yep, absolutely. Bit plumb there.
Yep. Didn't move forward at all. He's squared himself up, hit him on what would have been the back pad.
Yeah, well, we did say, Muradak, what have you got?
Yeah, well, now we know. Got an LBW.
And our man, the spinner's gone off, got about a 10-kilometre quicker delivery.
Yep.
And that's going to cause some havoc. So 5 for 105 is 5 for 104, I should say. Excuse me. And that's the end of the 16th over. So 4 to come in this game.
That partnership worth 60. Good effort.
Yeah, really, really good. A suitable applause from the TYABB boys just to the left of us here. Of course, this game brought to you by Bendigo Bank, along with one of our new partners in the Sports Business Network being Telstra. If you're a local business owner and you want to be a part of Audible PFM's Sports Business Network, packages starting from $20 a month, and we can get your business advertised all over Audible PFM, whether that's the new webpage at audiblepfmsports.com.au, which I highly recommend. Punter or business owner, you go on and have a look at all the great work that's being done around the peninsula with the sports broadcasting, interviews, shows. It's got it all, and if you want to be involved, you can get on to info@audiblepfmsports.com.au. Post-COVID time, where we need to be giving back to the peninsula community. So 4 overs to go for the Yabbies. A lot resting on this man who's been the catalyst of the fight back for the Yabbies. That's a slower delivery that's been pushed. And a pretty good throw too. They're going to get through nicely. 5 for 106 to score. So we're looking at a score here of around 135, 140 it feels, unless TYABB can up the challenge. As we see this ball dug into the pitch a little bit. And a little bit mistimed, but they're still going to get a single 5 for 107 as Nilo rejoins us.
Yes, Guinea, the new batsman, and with red helmet, you can pick him up quite distinctively. And
He fits in.
He does. And Reece Cordo's bowling from this end. He's had the tidiest figures so far for the day for Meriduck, so they really need something out of him the last couple.
But yeah, that red helmet on the burgundy colour,
Oh, yeah.
that's got a lot of sore thumb about it. As we see Cordo here, slower ball again, not timed great. Into the offside, it's going to cost them a run, because they're not going to get one through.
If he was able just to work that a little square and just off they go, it was a single, but it was right not to call it then because he didn't place it where he wanted to.
Absolutely, still plenty of runs available in this field. As we see Cordo again, that's shorter, wider, and he can't beat the man. There's going to be a chance out
and
if he
he's
hits,
run out,
and he's out.
into Holland Birch too.
My goodness,
Wow,
this is
wow.
wickets are coming in clusters. 6 for 107, a fantastic bit of fielding. The fielding's either been, well, let's be honest, it's either been almost
Terrible.
national standard.
Yes.
Kind of Pakistan in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
All sorts of quality at the moment.
They've missed a couple of chances, a couple of silly fumbles, and then a great bit like that.
And they're taking them. That's the second run out of the innings. 6 for 107.
Yep.
The score. All the momentum back to the Ducks now.
Yeah, bit disappointed because he'd done the hard work. He got himself into the 40s, and if he was there at the end, he could have ended up with a 60 or a 70. We're in over number 18, I think. 17 still. Oh yes, because Reece is still there. Yeah. Oh, he's got onto it.
He's going to beat the man, it looks like. Yes, he will, but it's not going to get to the boundary either. That is a perfect shot, and that would have been out if he hits, I think.
Yeah. Good bit of fielding there.
I still don't understand the inconsistency in the fielding, but it's enjoyable to watch either way.
Well, and that was a very good bit of fielding.
Yes,
there
absolutely. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Even
up.
not to go too far and cause a boundary either. He just stopped nicely, planted himself, and only missed by a little bit. As Cordo comes in. And that's been smacked too. That's got some velocity behind it. It's not going to beat the men in the deep. And they'll only pick up a single, so that'll be 6 for 110. And that'll end the over, so there's 3 to come. 6 for 110, 10 and over gets them to 140.
Yeah, it's just maybe looking a little out of reach now, that 140, isn't it? But with 7 down.
Has to be the minimum.
Absolute minimum, you'd think.
What they do need to do is bat out all 20 overs.
Yes.
Have to bat all, well, what's looking like 130.
Yeah.
With about the 8 or 9 wide, so it's been a really good effort actually by Meriduck. They've just had clusters of momentum, and that's gone everywhere and nowhere, and they're going to sneak through a single. It's had a bit of everything. The first delivery of the over. That being the 18th, of course.
And Rye have finished their 20 overs, 5 for 123. So,
Ooh, game on.
yep, game on. Nice and tidy. Be interesting to see, I suppose, Rob Quiney.
Go
You'd
about
imagine
it,
he'd open.
Yeah,
You'd think he would.
I was a big fan. I watched a lot of Rob Quiney. I still don't think I've seen him play an attacking shot. As we've seen that ball go back
here's
to the
a
bowler.
chance for
Here's a
now.
chance if he
No,
hits. He
missed.
doesn't. He was off balance as he threw it. They're not going to be an overthrow. Probably a good
Just
run
a
in the
single,
end.
yeah.
Would have taken a miracle for the bowler to throw the stumps down. I know he even played, I think it was 5 seasons.
Yeah.
I think I've ever seen him hit it. But he's a good man, Rob Quiney. I had the pleasure of meeting him
Nice fella.
when he was working at a particular...
And he runs the Coach the Coaches program for the MPCA that the Jug and Eagles organised.
But yeah, he had a podcast back in the day with Duke Hastings. Massive fan of. Bit shattered it didn't continue. But anyway, this over has, and that's going to be played into the offside for a single, and they'll happily give up sort of a run of ball here, Murdoch, I think. 128, they'll feel like they can chase down with some confidence. 6 for 114 the score.
Pearsdale are in their last over and they're already over 160, so
Wow.
we'll just keep an eye on that one at the moment.
They've done well. That's a nice bit of placement too. Single. Again,
And
as long as they're not balls, TYABB will take it in spades.
And Belnary ended up 125, so an enterprising start. And when they were 3 for 75 off 10, only 125, so they did lose their way there, losing a few wickets in the middle. And lost their momentum. 1-2-5 against Baxter. This will be a good test for their bowling lineup. Flew through. This looks like, yeah, they gave Murray a bowl before. Looks oh.
Bernie.
See what they've got. 12 balls left. That's a beauty to start.
Good, happy Bernie.
Usain Bolt can get a single off that.
And certainly his partner would have no chance.
Yeah. 11 balls left in this innings. That's nicely full. This is a good death going. They don't want to push for 2, and they're going for it. No, they're not. Great decision. That would have been detrimental to TYABB there.
Go here, Bernie.
6 for 116. The score.
Can't block it anymore.
Hope you can stay with us for the run chase. The Ducks, they'll probably go in as favourite. That's nice and full again. And that's going to be another absolute gold in the last 2 overs. They're worth as much as wickets. As a bowling team is restrict the scoring, and they've done it beautifully in these last 5 overs. The Ducks, that's nice and full. Played on the back foot, but it didn't need to. Are they going to push for 2? They are. There's a slight fumble. And I
Oh,
think
trouble at
that's
this end. No.
Bit of a poor throw in the end.
Needed to be right on the money.
Yeah, absolutely. 6 for 118. Not too long to go in this one. And definitely to be taking a bit to talk about before the Ducks get out there, and of course the run chase to follow. Trying to get inventive with that shot. Just good cricket shots will do, I think. So I think there's now 7 balls left in this innings, and the score at 118. I think they've got to try and find a way to squeeze 12 out of this. 130 just gives them something to look at. That's nice and full. Just got to take off. They do. They're going to get 2 here comfortably. That's good running. Really good running. As appreciated by the TYABB locals.
Come on, Rishi.
That'll end the 19th over, so we've got 1 to come. Nilo, 6 for 120 the score. And whatever happens in this last over, I can guarantee you it won't be boring.
No, there'll be some action going on here. We've got 2 blokes who've had a couple of siders, and Reese has been probably their tidiest bowler today, so yeah, it'll be an interesting one. As we said in that first round, 130 broad victories. I suspect you'll need more.
Yep.
Today, warmer, sunnier,
But
drier.
let's be honest, they're the
It's still got to be made.
Yeah, absolutely. The sun's not playing a predominant role at the moment, so hey, who knows?
Well, that's right.
As far as TYABB are concerned, they're just going to think to themselves, why not us?
Yep.
And I like the attitude.
Yep. Now keep pushing through the overs though, Reese, because you've got to bat last. Swing and a miss.
The 20th over. To the delight of the Ducks. Travelled down here to BUNGUYAN Reserve. This game brought to you by Bendigo Bank. Of course, their other major partner on the Sports Business Network being Telstra. It's a pleasure to have them on. This one's nice and full off the inside edge. They're going to push for two because it's gone behind the man at square leg. And there's a little bit of a song and a dance out there, but at the end of the day, it's going to go down as two. So that's 6 for 122 with 4 to come. I've got a good feeling about this run chase. There's still going to be some twists and turns in this one, so don't go anywhere. I'm going to bring you all the action in Muruduk's run chase. This is short. That's a big swing.
And Muruduk do chance their arm a bit, and that can go either way.
Yeah, if you come out and think if we can take the game apart in the first 5 overs, and all of a sudden you're 3 for 8.
Yeah, that's right. And it changes it.
Yeah, absolutely. You just, no matter what, TYABB are going to get some chances. It's only a few deliveries to go now. Another nice and full one. That's in the air. This is catching practice.
Over the top.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
You'll be LT. That's what we want.
Yep.
A little bit of fireworks late. Didn't really look like he got all of it.
No.
Let me tell you, he did, and some.
But he got enough.
6 for 128. Yeah, whether it's by an inch, a foot, or a mile.
Yep,
as long as it's over the...
Yep. You don't get extra for hitting it 20 metres past.
Yeah, I think Chris Gale could almost double his international T20 runs, I think.
If that's the way it went.
If it was measured on distance, but that's 6, the first of the innings.
Well, I'm looking for a Yorker here from Bruce.
A bit of an inside edge there. Going to get 2. There's a
hand
fumble.
on
They've
it.
got to come back.
Oh, got to. They've got to
Got
have a
to.
crack.
And
Gotta
they've
have a
thrown
crack.
to the wrong end. So the 2 is actually comfortable, and there's the 130.
Yeah. Well,
And I think there's still a ball to come.
Yep.
Hello. Something happens here.
Yep.
She's on. The sun's out.
You tipped this over to bring something.
No matter what, wasn't going to be boring. The suns are out. The guns are out. Bring it on. BUNGUYAN Reserve, Tuesday night. Absolutely beautiful. Last ball of the innings is slow. It's hit confidently straight. Just got to come back for 2. You got no choice. And they'll make it.
Oh, he slacked off and...
Oh, no, they're going to get more.
And there's no
Oh,
backing up.
no, this is a disaster.
Oh.
Well, Muruduk have had some moments. They've
Wow.
looked world class. And they've had some moments where they've looked like under 12s.
Reese is...
Filthy.
Yeah, he's got his cap. That's the main thing. That's the best thing that came out of that last delivery. He saw the batsman dawdling and thought he'd have a ping.
Rightly so.
Well, I don't know what he'd... Yeah, and no one else was ready for that.
Unrightly so, I should say.
Yeah.
You can go double check for us, Nilo, but I think that'll make us 139.
We'll stick with the 139, I reckon.
Get that confirmed. But we're gonna
Enterprising over.
I'm looking at the master producer. We're going to take a break, and we will be back with Muruduk's run chase. This is going to be a cracker. Article PFM's match of the day.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs. A station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington TYABB Road, Mornington.
Hello, I'm Roy Sanderson from RJ Sanderson and Associates. We have created a 10-step roadmap to recovery for businesses. To inquire or get a copy, go to our website rjsanderson.com.au.
A station sponsor.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
The Mornington Peninsula Bowls region asked you to check out why lawn bowls in the Mornington Peninsula is just for you. It's fun, it's social, and it's affordable. That's right, it's fun, it's social, and it's easy to learn. There are over 25 bowls clubs on the Mornington Peninsula which offer free lessons and the free use of bowls. Get on the green now. Lawn bowls on the Mornington Peninsula is more than just a game. Station sponsor.
So Mallacoota is surrounded by Crojinglong National Park, which is about 87,000 hectares, and it encompasses a range of vegetation communities and heaps of really unique flora and fauna species. Leading up to the fires, we had a lot of drought. Some moisture measurements were taken by DWALP before the fires came through, and the moisture content was about the same as in the Mallee.
That year was really bad for bushfires. It was incredibly dry. We'd had drought for a few years, and of course, because of the dryness and the drought, we hadn't been able to do a lot of fuel management, so the bush was ready to explode. One of the things that impressed me straight after the fires was the way the community embraced the idea of setting up MADRA, which is the community-based organisation. And one of the things that made us feel that we could go with that idea was the fact that the Bendigo Bank came behind us immediately and offered its support, offered its financial advice. That was a huge relief to us. The money that would come from donations, and there have been a lot, would be in safe hands.
It's really important to support local communities in crisis because we're there for the local community. We're part of it, and it's part of our DNA. So we're there both after the immediate crisis and through the long term to help and support the community grow out. We've donated $4.3 million into the local community and the solar farm that is yet to be built.
Prior to the bushfires, Mallacoota was powered by a single line over 240 kilometres long. We have had many issues with outages. Our power went out over 24 hours prior to the fire actually arriving. The solar farm is being built on East Gippsland Water's wastewater treatment plant to provide sustainable energy to this community. So the solar farm will directly contribute to the length of time that our microgrid will sustain itself. Without the contribution of the Mallacoota Community Bank, so many organizations in this town would be unable to do what they are doing. And without their support, our lives here would not be what they are.
So nearly 2 years on after those catastrophic black summer bushfires. The bush is regenerating really nicely. You just go for a stroll anywhere around town or the national park and you're seeing amazing regrowth. The wildflowers are absolutely incredible now, and it's really awesome to see those species that we were a little bit worried about that may not recover after fire starting to recover.
We have people here who've retired, we have people here who are trying to set up businesses, we have people here who just want to go fishing. Mallacoota is a really unusual place, it's a very beautiful place. That's one of the reasons why people are here. That hasn't changed. People want to be here, people love to be here.
I'm very optimistic about the future. We want to stay living in a healthy, thriving, safe community for the rest of all of our lives. And we are working to make that happen.
There's a couple of really positive things that have come out of the community as a result of the bushfires. One is a real resilience. There's a growing optimism about how we reshape from here, given what's happened to us. A tremendously positive community spirit has arisen, even though we've been through tragedy.
Welcome back to BUNGUYAN Reserve here in TYABB. And Neil, I've done some silly things in my time, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know whether I've given a cricket team 6 extra runs before, but before we went to the break I did say 6 for 139, but I'd actually counted the 6 twice. It is 6 for 133, okay. So I apologise to all the Murdoch fans out there who might be listening and
saying how'd they get 19 off that last over?
Yeah, trying to think to themselves, why is Daz doing this to us? But it was a mistake, I promise you. And a bit of a shout out we've got before we get to the morning news group.
Fantastic, yep.
A few of them listening in, so we appreciate their support, and you've got some scores.
Yeah, they've been a great link for us over the last few years, which is fantastic. Let's start in the south. Sorrento, 3 for 174 against Bonia. That's a pretty good score.
Yeah, that's an outstanding
score. The ground
score.
must be drying out. It's the fastest, that's the biggest score we've had to date in the T20 competition. Also in the south, Rosebud and Rye ended up 5 for 123. It'll be interesting to see whether Rob Kwani and Nick Jewell whereabouts they bat as the two marquee players. Mainridge Dramana and Mainridge 8 for 133. Nice to see cricket being played up at the Ridge again. When you get there, Daz, you'll just think that's a magical little ground to watch cricket from. Of course, Red Hill have the bye in the south, and the teams that are equal. Let's have a look coming into this round. Baxter, Balnarring, Somerville, and Crib in this division, and in the south division, Rye, Rosebud, Dramana, Red Hill. So it'll start to sort itself out after round 2. In the east, Somerville playing Crib Point. Michael Wallace from Casey's, the marquee player for Somerville, presumably will bat soon. Crib Point ended up 8 for 106. Pearsdale, 4 for 169, which is great. They'll be really looking forward to that because they've struggled a bit with the bat so far this year. And 8 for 169. Baxter, Balnarring, 8 for 125, and that's a team who's been going really well. 75 at the halfway mark and just fell away and lost a few wickets in the second half. Here at TYABB, 1, 3, 3, 4, 6, I believe, Daz.
It is. I promise you that is the correct.
And I've got some of the key run scorers there. So James Holland Birch ran himself out ridiculously in the end, but 43 top score. And next best score was Nick Guinea, who was not out 20 at the time and looked a bit enterprising in the red helmet.
He did. He stood out in a good way towards the end, and that 6 at the end make a massive difference. It was so good, I thought it was 12, so it's well hit. But I know this is a cliche, Nilo, and
we love a good cliche.
No, I don't like dealing in cliches. I like to be my own man. But the first 5, especially in the blocks,
yep. Pretty important.
You could think to yourself, the game's there.
They're set up here. They're set up for a good.
The base is built. But I'll tell you what, if it's a similar score, if we're sitting here and it's
that's right. We're in the balance again, aren't we?
I'm licking my lips, absolutely.
It was that 60 partnership, I reckon, between Rhodes and Holland Birch, which got them going because I reckon the bowlers did pretty well up to that point of that partnership. The best bowling for the Muriduck boys, Whincup 1 for 20 and Promathalaka 1 for 18, and they were very tidy. Let's see what the TYABB boys can produce with the ball. Nick Williams batting, and pretty sure that's Dwayne Bowden, the skipper, the lefty, facing.
Skipper facing the first ball. It's a bold move.
If he gets going, we haven't seen much of him at Muriduck, but you've seen a little bit of him before, and he's at Dramana. He's very good.
Let's get underway, and that's wide of off stump. And I'll tell you what, the TYABB boys in the field, very, very vocal.
Absolutely. James Hollenbert's got the new ball. Geez, if he got a couple of wickets now after he's 43, he'd be prancing around looking for MOM medals.
Yeah, he'd be searching for maybe a little bit of moolah bonus, I reckon. Maybe a bit of moolah in the old bank account would go nicely if he can knock over the skipper here. Second delivery is a good one. And just a bit late on the timing there.
Yeah.
From the skipper. But a good battle between bat and ball. Only a couple of deliveries in.
Yep. Looking very... enterprising and mouth-watering. Is that what you say about this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
But what a day it's been.
Oh, fabulous.
Here at BUNGUYAN Reserve, as that's been pulled again, the timing not there.
No.
So this pitch might be a little bit slower, and all of a sudden, that 133 is looking more and more competitive by the day.
The other time I saw Dwayne...
By the ball, I should say.
Dwayne batting this year was that rain-interrupted game against Mornington. And a couple of nice shots, but he certainly wasn't the Dwayne Bowden we saw a couple of years ago. So he's looking rusty, lead side wide there, looking a bit rusty.
Yep.
And sometimes all you need is an hour in the middle, and it all comes back to you. And with some 80 over games coming up, he'd be looking for that option of the game. Wow.
For Muriduck to get through, as that one's full and nicely played straight, but you're not going to beat a fielder there. And just hang on to the ball, son, and we'll get to the fourth delivery or third delivery now.
People hoping that looking for Rob Bowen's comments. He's where he would want to be. He's at a staff meeting that finishes at 7 o'clock tonight.
Oh, that's where we want to be near.
We all want to be there on a Tuesday afternoon.
I mean, I had some good meetings today. Is that one again not really timed, but squeezed to point. But yeah, Nilo from basically 9 o'clock this morning till about 1:15. I was in and out of meetings, and I love Zoom. Not a sponsor of Double P. Since the pandemic hit, they've become a lifesaver for those working from home. But my goodness, the carry on. You reckon they're boring at work? They're even worse at home, as we see. Again, played late, but that's going to beat the man at point. So off the mark in terms of runs off the bat. Some good backing up in the field by TYABB. None for two, the score. As we exit the first over of the run chase. None for two, 132 for victory now off 114. Hope you can stay with us throughout the entire run chase. I've got the feeling there are going to be some twists and turns in this tale.
I think so.
The M. Night Shyamalan of cricket. I think it's what we're going to get here at BUNGUYAN Reserve. Of course, Nilo, a man that had to have twists in movies that didn't require them even, but he loves them. Big M. Night, my goodness. This is a man that delivered us The Sixth Sense, which is an outstanding movie. Signs, which I know is a bit polarising, and for some reason he made The Happening, where trees could make people do some silly things. My goodness.
Just looking at the trees here at TYABB. No, I think they're okay.
They're okay,
yeah. I think we're fine.
Yeah, and we'll get Mark Wahlberg on the phone to be an environmental scientist, which, you know, good luck to you, Mark. Marky Mark, of course. Makes a nice hamburger, says Sus. It's good to know Sus's priorities are in the right place.
Absolutely, this time of the night. So Cam Taylor, the Director of Coaching here at TYABB, has got the new ball as well, or Squizzy as they're calling him. Wouldn't you guess that?
Jeez, that's one of the more interesting spinning actions I've seen. He comes in sort of slowly and then really just jumps into his action there, and I think this is going to be a free hit. as the umpire is...
He's signalling something, and fieldsmen are moving around, and
Signalling
Benny
something.
Williams on strike, taking centre.
So I think that's the case.
And Gags Gallagher, the umpire, is giving him centre there.
Yeah, so none for 2 becomes none for 4 if we're right in believing that this is a free hit. The umpire signal leads us to believe so. And that shot tells us it was, and it's 4.
Yep.
Fantastic shot, and what it kind of deserved on a free hit. You either want to go Yorker or, and we're not condemned, we're not saying we want people to be hit or anything, but you've only got 2 options on a free hit, Nilo, for mine, and that's toes or grill.
Yes.
Anything else would be whacked, which it was. That's wide of off stump, and that's going to be a dot.
Just a fraction short on those first couple there from Cam Taylor, in my view.
I think he's just trying to build into his over, but I think he's got to slow it down a touch.
Ooh,
That's short again.
Yep.
And that's going to beat the man, rightly so. And if the ground's going to perform the way it has all night, it's going to be 4, it is. So once again, we've got an expensive over in the second.
I'm wondering whether he normally bowls a little slower and he's trying to push it through.
Hurry through, yeah.
And that's lost his length because of that.
You know, but all of a sudden, if you get a slow one in there and the batsman's eyes light up, they've got the man on coverage on the fence, all you need to do is sort of get it off stump line and you're away. There you go, that's slowed down and look what happens, dot balls. We should be getting the coaching, Nilo. We're in the wrong caper here.
Yeah, that's right. So easy from outside the ground too, this game, like most.
I can still remember every bit of my juniors, every time my old man would give me some instructions that I would then follow and success would come.
Yes.
Because that one's a bit slower. That's in the air, but it's not going to be taken. It's going to be a single.
By Benny.
Yeah, my dad would either do one of 2 things as the score goes to none for 13. He would either make a noise that might not be the most flattering, and I probably shouldn't do on air, Nilo, but the other...
Bit of a groan
the other
attached
term,
to it?
It was more of a I told you so kind of noise, if you will.
Yeah.
And the
it's all
second...
part of the father repertoire, Daz.
and the second thing that he would do, and you could spot it 120 metres away, the eyebrows would go up, and he'd just give you the slow nod, like, yes, I do know what I'm talking about. He used to really give me he used to bring a sense of annoyance as a child. But we're 2 overs in, none for 13 the score.
Exactly the same as they were in the first batting innings. So if it comes to form, we're looking for a two-wicket over here.
What happens if it's a tie, Nilo? Do they have a super over, or does it go down as a tie?
Theoretically, it's a super over, but whether it happens tonight depends on
yes,
light.
Yes, I've heard these stories. My goodness. Because I still remember there was a T20 in 2009. I think it was India Pakistan where they just bowled at the wickets, a bowl off, if you will, and I think Pakistan won that day.
Well, they had a bowl off a couple of years ago, which got changed. It was Red Hill playing Sorrento, and the rain came in and would end up being equal, and they end up having to send a couple of blokes over for a bowl off on the Tuesday night following.
That's extraordinary. As we see the beginning of the 3rd over, nicely bowled, but again the timing not great from the Muradoc batsmen. They're either getting hurried a bit, forcing the ball to go behind point, and they've had a couple of lofted shots as well. A couple come off the middle of the bat, and a beautiful free hit, sort of cross bat swat, Steve Wall-like, that went to the boundary. He used to love cow corner.
Indeed.
Did Tugger. And again, that one's played late to the man at slip for no run. So we've seen from TYABB today, we've seen the red helmet, Nilo.
Loved it.
We've got the white brimmed hat, looking beautiful against the burgundy. Well, are you a brim hat man, Nilo?
Yeah, probably go the white brimmed hat. Yeah.
Fumble, but probably saved a run or 2 there. So some nice fielding. We saw Muradoc, if they do go on to lose this game, well, no matter what, Nilo, hopefully the coaches are looking at this going, boys, we've got to tighten up in the field, because we were looking like geniuses at some point, and at some points we were headed nowhere.
Yep.
Well, they were looking like 99 on the ATAR sometime and VCAL in the other. My goodness. Shout out to everyone who did VCAL back in the day. I don't mean any offence by it.
Yeah, that's changing pretty soon.
What, VCAL?
Yeah, well, similar certificate for everybody is coming
Really?
up with just a broader range of subjects.
There you go. I still claim, Nilo, there are a few subjects in the school system that just can go away, I think. But I think that all depends on what you're into, of course.
Well, yeah,
for sure. Got to bring a broad variety as that's slower. Left-handers, they hate slower deliveries. The amount of slow balls that get lefties out, my goodness.
Well, there should be one called Movie Metaphors, and you could set up a little curriculum for that one.
Well, my former job before the one I'm in now, I was an adult educator, Nilo, which sounds worse than it is. Yeah.
It's always nice when your job's got the word adult in it. That helps.
It sounds like a...
Yeah, well placed. Couple there, I would think.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we'd have classes with adults in them, and you just got to find ways to keep people entertained, Neil.
Yes.
You've got to keep people, wanting to listen to you. I could run a staff meeting. Let me tell you, that would knock socks off. Participating in them,
that's different. Yeah.
My goodness.
So our thoughts going to Rob Bowen at the moment.
Yes, absolutely, and anyone else that's had to take part in some staff meetings today where they got absolutely nothing out of it. As we see, a nice full delivery.
Left alone by Bowden there.
Left alone, so wide stuff, but left alone. And that's going to end the over. That's 3 overs gone, and that's going to be none for 14.
Okay, and they probably think that getting only 1 run off that over was better than 2 for none, which happened when the TYABB boys were batting.
Yep, and I can't say I disagree too much there, Neilo,
True.
to be honest.
Of course, at the 10 over mark, it was 58 or 9 or thereabouts.
I think 58, about that, yep. So 58 and then 75 in the run home. But it was all about that, I think it was 5th wicket partnership of 60. They got TYABB to their score. So we're going to get a change of bowler here. I think we might get Nilo to confirm who it might be. As we can, but the 4th over due to commence.
Looks like it might be one of the Guineas, two of them, but it's either that or the fellow who had his pads on here, and I reckon he made 85 watching, swinging and playing all his practice shots, waiting. Didn't get out there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would like to put myself in the GOAT conversation of shadow batting for sure. Plenty of us out there would. His first ball's down the leg side, flicked nicely to backward square. They'll get a single and move on to none for 15. So the base being built is a nice one at the moment. The Ducks require some quick math for you. Victory. Hope you can join us throughout. Brought to you by Bendigo Bank. Telstra on board as well. We thank them for joining the Sports Business Network at Audible PFM. As we see a bunt delivery to mid-on for no run. So, of course, on Saturday, you'll be able to join us for the MPCA as well. We'll let you know when and where a bit later on. We'll just tease that nicely. But until then, you can sit back wherever you're watching or listening and enjoy a fantastic run chase. TYABB are going to need an early wicket here to make Murudaka uncomfortable, but the run rate so far is manageable. That's in the air. Sent down the fine leg, but there's a man out there hidden amongst the trees in the background. The beautiful landscape of BUNGUYAN Reserve here in TYABB as Nilo's joined us again. Were you right, Nilo, about the Guinea?
No, it was Myelitsis.
Okay.
So it was the guy who was playing all the pretend shots rather than the Guinea who had a hit.
So statistically, your guess was on the money, but unfortunately...
Got the name wrong.
Yeah, that's
it. You know.
But it's been a tidy enough start. Not conceding too many, and that's going to be a shout, but the umpire's going to have none of it. We're at about 1 for 8 at the moment on appeals.
Probably fair too, because the appeals have all been not out, a bit like last Saturday, I felt.
Yes, I think we at one stage we were 1 for 17 before a couple late got given. I've just had shut down Nilo. I think we're at none for 16.
It was 16 at the start of this over.
17, because they did get a single. Yep. Okay. All right, we're back. We're back, people. Stick with us. That's been swatted.
Oh, that's a great shot by Williams.
Not a massive gap between the two men on the offside,
but he
picked it beautifully. Murudaka now to none for 21, and the game is firmly in their hands. 113 to win. You're in the 4th over.
And the thing about batting second is that you can set yourself. You know the pace you need.
That's it. That one,
Another
again,
one.
very similar to an over a go. Some nice fielding at backward square. He'll keep it to a single. None for 22, the score. So how optimistic are you, Nilo, about Australia's chances against England as the over comes to an end? So 4 overs gone, none for 22, the score. So 96 deliveries left, 112 to win. Nilo, Australia, England, you backing us in the 3 ODI series?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll be all right. I think they're pretty good in that.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about the Poms.
Yeah, you never quite know.
Joss Buttler recently becoming England's highest run scorer in international T20s.
Yeah.
Joss, the boss, someone tried going with the other day, which is not good enough as far as I'm concerned. When you've got a last name like Butler, surely you've got to go down the Alfred kind of road.
Yeah.
I would have thought nickname style. Come on, England social media, you're better than that. And of course, we've got tests against the West Indies and South Africa. And I mean no disrespect to the West Indies when I say this, Nilo, but I am really looking forward to the South Africa series. I feel like it's been a decade since we've seen them.
Yep.
I think the last time they were here, Australia were in a hole, 2016-17. You remember we had the likes of Callum Ferguson, Peter Neville in the side. Joe Menny, there's a name that just popped into my head after what seems like a long time. So we'll get to see a fantastic series as we see the commencement of the 5th over with a bit of left arm orthodox, and there's a chance, but a fumble. Fielding coaches around the country wondering why they got into this caper, if that's what they're going to get. But yeah, the South Africans, we've got the likes of Dean Elgar coming out, a fantastic opening batsman. Aidan Markram, who's got some history in Australia, got a bit fiery last time they were here. Temba Bavuma will be out here, of course. But of course, it'll be all about the young all-rounder, Marco Jansen.
Yeah,
who has got...
Looks like he's pretty good.
I think he's going to be the kind of guy that Australians will not like because he's the opposition, but are going to love the look of. That's a swat.
Great shot.
Down the long on. Probably 2 metres either side. It's 4. But they'll pick up a single. But he's got some pace, and he's a good swing of the bat too. Here's Marco. I think he's only 22 as well. So South Africa look like they're onto a winner. I do worry about their spin options, but it's going to be a fun series for sure. As we see a big swing down the ground, nice and straight. He's going to make long off come in, but again, they're going to restrict to a single, which won't bother TYABB at all because the run rate is well and truly over 6. None for 25 the score. 109 required with about 92 balls left. So singles right now are bothering TYABB like dazzling with a roast chicken, let me tell you. Loving them both, and dot balls are even better. Of course, the West Indies, Shivareen Chanderpaul, the legendary batsman, his son has been named in the squad.
Good to see, but it really does depend on the West Indies on who turns up.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. If they ever got their best 11 together for a series, it'll be all right, but you don't seem to see them much.
Yeah, but you got Jason Holder, Kemar Roach are going to be coming in and delivering. Olzari Joseph. So there's some pace. The test at Perth is going to be, it's going to be on. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. I do worry about their batting, their ability to bat for maybe a day and a half, which is what you're going to need at Optus Stadium. As we see, nice and full in the air again. It's not going to be caught, but it's going to be stopped. And there's a single, and I think that's going to end the 5th over. The umpire's giving us that finality kind of look, and it is the end of the 5th over. None for 27 the score. And I think both teams, Nilo, are happy with that. It's under a runner ball for TYABB, and for Muradook, they're calling it a win because they haven't lost a wicket.
Yeah, I think that's the key part so far. And it's only one runner, about 2 or 3 different runs between the two batting. But no, nothing
Hold
lost.
that thought, Nilo, because we're going to take
lost.
a quick break after 5 overs, and we'll be back after a sponsor's message.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
And here we are back in business. BUNGUYAN Reserve, TYABB is the location on a magnificent Tuesday night on the Mornington Peninsula. 107 required, 90 deliveries left. That's for Muraduck. For TYABB, they need to start knocking a couple of batsmen over if they want to get themselves back into the game. They're bowling nice and tight, nice and restrictive. But they're just going to need to add to that wickets tally, because the bigger the platform that Muraduck set, the easier it'll be for them to accelerate late. Daz is here. I've got Nilo alongside me. Hope you can join us throughout the rest of the run chase. First ball, the 6th over has been played to the man. There's going to be a chance. If he hits, he can't. And there might be an overthrow here. There's not going to be, because the man at the non-striker's end decided to run a pitch length after completing his run. No judgment there, of course. And that's going to take us to none for 28. Nilo, have you got any scores for us?
Yeah, just an update one. We neglected to look at the North Division, because being the bye in that division, they're playing a game, and it's Langwarrin and Pines, and Langy with a couple of marquee players, including Coburn. He's made 41 today in Coburn, and Langy 8 for 126.
All game on. And
Pines are 2 for 56. And Ricky opened up and made 36, and he's out.
Oh, he's out. That's a big loss. But, of course, round 1 of the MPCA, as that gets squirted away for a single, half a chance. He would have been in anyway. None for 29 the score. Of course, round 1 of the MPCA, Nilo, we were down at Eric Bell Reserve, and we saw an absolute cracker between Langwarrin and Pines. So that looks set to go much the same way. We're hoping this one turns out to be just as good. 105 required off about 87 at the moment. You just feel like TYABB might be getting a chance really soon, as we see that one splayed to mid-off. Not going to get a run there, which is a win for the Yabbies. So what a summer of cricket we've got for you, from peninsula level to national level. Of course, we got the Australian women's cricket team as well. They're going to be having a very, very full schedule, which I'm looking forward to. That one's a bit short. Well, edged away. Yeah, just soft hands in the end. There was a single there, no matter sort of where that went, as long as it beat first slip. So none for 30 the score. And the Aussie women's, what good shape they're looking in at the moment. The WBBL's going beautifully. It's toss a coin between the Heat, the Scorchers and the Sixers. But for mine, and I called this a month ago, the Brisbane Heat for mine have got the best batting unit in the world, and I'll back that in a T20 tournament. As we see this in the air, but that's over the top. That's 6.
Way over.
That's,
yeah, pretty comfortable.
And one of the very solid crowd catch too.
Yes.
By the way, that's just been lifted over square leg. There's a man out here in the deep, and you just had to watch it fly over his head, and there was a satisfying thwack as the ball hit hand. Well taken in the crowd. Extraordinary shot. As we see this one pitched up and just played delicately, and that'll be taken. Well stopped by the man at Gully. So an extra 7 off the last 2 balls to end that over will take us to none for 37. That's put a bit of a dent in things. 97 to go off 84. 6 overs gone. Or is it? What's happening here? No, I think new overs. Yep, new overs going to start. It's just a little bit of chatter amongst a few clicks here.
And Hosey looks like he's continuing. He had the first over. Oh no, he's just directing traffic. Getting the field in the right position.
So it's pretty simple. TYABB need a wicket.
Yep.
Got to break this partnership up. Those bowls, that's
Another
in the
one.
air, that's 6.
Another one in the car.
Oh,
hello.
And that's had about 3 goes on the car. Of course, nothing more infamous in this scenario than New Zealand commentator Ian Smith, who of course had a rental car in New Zealand that Jesse Ryder put absolutely through the windshield. And the car owner's given us a smile and a thumbs up, so it can't be that bad, unless he's got one of the best insurance plans I've ever seen.
And a single hit.
And that's come off the bowler. That's going to be comfortably.
And it's Dwayne Bowden starting to open up. So
yeah, isn't he?
I mean, this is also good news if he can get this, like I was saying before, if he can get a bit of time in the centre, start hitting the ball nicely, getting back to his best form with 80 over games coming up.
Look out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 44 the score without loss.
Chugging along nicely, Murdoch here.
And a couple of, maybe a car insurance company or two looking at this game, thinking, don't do anything silly here, boys. But 44 without loss. It's the Murdoch's game to lose at the moment. 90 to win. That's slow, tossed up. Oh, was tempting for the batsman, but he's found the gap beautifully.
Yeah, well, a great footwork there from Benny Williams.
That's run away to the boundary. None for 48.
Benny would be one of the most consistent batsmen on the peninsula. For week in, week out, he'll always get his 40 or so. And recent years starting to get a few higher scores as well, but if you can pick up your 40 every week as an opening batsman, that's pretty handy, and Ben's been able to do that. Reorganising the field a bit here.
Yes. So what have we got here? Nothing really wants to load for me here, but we'll work towards it as that one's played to...
No single? No.
No run there. Not when you've taken considerable amount off the total. Yeah. Not that I'm saying you want to leave singles on the table, but if in doubt, Nilo, sometimes during TYABB's innings they would have had to say if in doubt, say yes, and it cost them a couple of runouts.
Correct.
But considering when you're nearly at 50 already, for 48,
ticking along nicely.
Yeah, probably if in doubt, just stay home and look at the next one. That's a full toss that's been played to cover for no run. Half a chance if he wants to take a throw. Probably could have in the end. Seneth, he had a man backing up, but no run there. He's got the hat on with a... Is that a bandana underneath it?
Sensational, that
doesn't it?
Luminous colour, it's great.
Looks beautiful as that's played nicely to tackle point for no run. So, I mean, if you take out the attempt on a windshield, it's actually worked out semi-okay for TYABB, but it's going to be none for 48 at the conclusion of the over, and we're going to get the import from Elstonwick. Seneth is going to come on for a bowl, and with a bandana that good, that luminous.
Oh, he's got it there. He's got to be able to spin it, doesn't he?
His run out really did signal it did signal the 60-run partnership, but he looked confident in defence. We didn't really get to see him in an aggressive manner, but if we can see it with the ball, could be in for something special here. But these opening batsmen have done a terrific job after only a few overs here. The run chase is all on them. 86. That's all that's required. We're seeing again more fielding changes. Let's get through these overs, boys. As Seneth comes in. That's got some zip to it as it's been played to the man who's not in a position to really stop a single. So you've got to wonder why he's so far back, Nilo.
Yeah.
He's not on the boundary.
Bit of no man's land there.
He's in a bit of saving three, if you like.
Interesting, had a bit of a ping there because Dwayne was just taking it easy.
He was meandering.
Yeah.
I reckon.
I don't think he really wants to sprint hard between wickets. I think that might create some sort of injury that he's not interested in. So he probably won't be running lightning fast ones and twos. And happy that he can reach the boundary when he needs to.
Well, hasn't he?
He has so far.
He doesn't hit them over the cones, doesn't he? He's hit two of them well and truly over the fence.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for a lone hand or a lone car, as we see that one splayed through the offside, that's going to be four. Save your legs, son.
Yep.
That's only for stride throughs at the moment, and that'll bring up the half century. None for 53 the score, 81 to win. And Murdoch, they're going beautifully at the moment. No complaints at all if you're on the side of the Ducks. And, yeah, the TYABB panic button is being slammed.
About to be
at the moment.
Pressed.
Yeah, they couldn't buy a wicket at the moment. As Seneth comes in, round the wicket to the right-hander, and that's a beautiful flighted delivery that's beaten the outside edge. Best ball that he's bowled. Asking some questions of the batsman, and I'll tell you what would be the absolute worst as they get a single, Nilo. If TYABB do get a chance and put it down.
Yes, well they've got a bowl for wickets now.
Yeah.
Even if it costs you runs and you get beaten in 12 overs, so what?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Get a few wickets, you get a chance.
Yeah, you don't really get punished for the amount of time it takes as Bowden plays that through the offside for no run.
Gee, Pines 2 for 80 in the 10th over, and target there 127.
Well, we got to talk about the Pines a little bit more, Nilo, in just a tick, as that one's been splayed into the onside, but the man at backward square has had to watch a couple go over his head. Has just saved a single there on a rocket arm.
Good work.
Well done, and that'll signal the end of the over. None for 55 the score, and Nilo, we can reveal our Bendigo Bank match of the day for Saturday.
Pines.
We're at Pines again.
Yes.
Back at the Pines, Eric Bell Reserve. Fantastic.
Yep. And
very good to us down there.
They brought themselves a great win on the weekend. They brought themselves back into business. So
what do they need? They need us back down there, because the first time we went down there, they went down to Langy. So
yeah, although that was a ripping game.
Yeah, we want to get up there for a win, and of course works out beautifully for Daz. I'm within walking distance. So what time do you need me? I'll leave about 10 minutes before that, and I'll be with you. We hope you can join us throughout the day as well. 2-dayer, I think, too. So
yes,
hopefully we can get
to see that
on the park as well.
And Pines playing Sorrento, who have found a bit of form with their 174, highest score of the T20 so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So what a game that will be. Of course, the bit that we haven't talked about yet, that's being the me versus AJ.
AJ, he might be back this week. He's got a few things on this week, but he might be around Saturday.
I just, he's never home, AJ. I don't actually think he knows where he lives. I think if he has to fill out paperwork that has his address on it, I think he's actually got to ring his missus and
or TBA
and
or something.
Yeah, something like Where
there's a chance. Should be.
Ooh. Oh, that rocketed.
Yeah, he blocked it well.
Yeah, that's the kind of delivery that some people would say is a half a chance missed. That's 4 runs saved, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that was a tough.
Really well done. Got his body behind it.
Hit it hard, hit it flat.
No real chance to catch it in the end. None for 56 the score after that single taken.
Rye were 123 of their 20 overs. And
58 is it, Sus? My apologies.
Rosebud opened up, just pushed out there, getting a single. Opened up with Quiney and Jewel. Quiney out 30 off 25. Jewel 52 off 30. And 9 for 100 in the 12th over. I think they'll wrap that one up pretty quickly, Rosebud. That'll be 2 from 2 from there.
Catch opportunity, only a couple of metres wide, and that's going to run away for 4. This ground is in outstanding nick.
It is good nick. Yeah.
None for 63. We're in the 10th over. And Muradak, it has to be said, Nilo, is making this run chase look extremely easy at the moment.
It is.
It can all change on a dime, as we know. 71 to win, so they're nearly halfway through already. They're looking extremely, extremely comfortable. That one's short. That's tonked. That's 6.
Yep,
one bounce, I think.
I think it should be a 6.
Should be a 6.
My angle, it's a 6.
Nilo's giving me 6.
Adrian
4.
Gallagher's called it 4, so it's 4.
None for 67.
Not getting much.
Not a lot of complaining.
No, there's a couple of discussions here, but...
from the field. I know the field. That's great sportsmanship. The field has said 6.
Yeah,
good on you, mate.
It was over by a metre.
None for 69 the score. 65 to get. 64 now as that's played the long on for a single.
And
we're not halfway through the innings yet, so Muradak right now, this would have to take a Melbourne Stars in a BBL final kind of meltdown for this to not be a Muradak victory. My goodness. Renegades all 6s.
Your first look at Dwayne Bowden, and
I'm impressed.
He looks all right, doesn't he? Yeah.
Oh, he looks better than all right.
Yeah.
He's timing. He's probably been the best timer of the ball Even in the air, it doesn't look out of control at all. So that's going to end the halfway point of the innings. None for 70 the score, so 64 off 60 required from Muruduk. It's all up to them now. TYABB are going to need to take a wicket or two.
Definitely. Is that end of the 9th or is it one? This is the 10th.
Oh, this is the 10th. Sorry, one more over.
Yeah.
We'll go to a break. I'm not ready to leave, just to be clear, but I'll tell you what, that nine overs in, none for 70. I'm just...
Very nice.
That's twice now I've tried making it worse for Muruduk. I promise you there's nothing there. I'm not a TYABB native, or, I haven't got coin on the game or anything like that, I promise you. Tell you what it's making me do, Nilo. It's making me take the big scoreboards for granted tonight, as that's probably the first out of control lofted shot, but ended up being controlled in the end.
Yeah, placed into a gap.
Yeah, knew there was about an acre of space out there. Did Bowden, so that'll take him to 71 without loss.
I wonder if this helps Benny Williams so that he doesn't have to be the key bat who keeps things going, because the bloke at the other end's going well as well.
Yeah, he could walk off the ground 50 and only hit 2 or 3 boundaries as he goes, as he thinks to himself, I'm about to make you two look foolish, as he's gone for a big swing.
Yeah, you're going to say good things about me, I'm going to change it.
Yeah, you're going to talk me up, are you? I'll show you. Yeah. Come on, Benny. Better than that. This one will be more controlled, I think. It will.
That's
as he
better.
dabs
And
into the pitch for a single. That's clever batting.
Yeah.
A man at point.
And they just jog through. Nicely done.
Yeah. There's probably been 12 runs so far given just like that. Just make sure it's far enough in front of the keeper that it's a single anyway. And
they've got a lot of guys back, so it's opened up those singles.
Yeah, absolutely they have. So there is an element of ease that can be given to this run chase if Muruduk are patient enough, as Bowden again dabs this one wide. They're going to get a single again. Oh, a little bit of a misfield TYABB. It hasn't been one for the fielders today. I promise you that. Might be a bit of extra training during the week. Benny Williams facing up again. He's tried to go the more aggressive route. I don't want to deny anyone's instincts, but I'm not sure it's the way to go.
That's better.
To the man at cover for no run, as we're about to wrap up the midway point of the innings.
I'll confirm the scores of each batsman,
awesome.
Daz, at the end of this over.
Appreciate that. So 72 for naught. That's the big number right now.
The 0.
Yep. As Williams plays a wide, that's in the gap. That's going to make it.
And the ground is
ground is lightning. The ground is lightning. So that's going to be 76 without loss. And the timing from Williams there, exemplary.
Yep.
And that's going to end the halfway point of the innings. We're going to take a break here for the Bendigo Bank match of the night. You could say none for 76 the score. We'll be back right after this.
The Mornington Peninsula Bowls region asks you to check out why lawn bowls in the Mornington Peninsula is just for you. It's fun, it's social, and it's affordable. That's right, it's fun, it's social, and it's easy to learn. There are over 25 bowls clubs on the Mornington Peninsula which offer free lessons and the free use of bowls. Get on the green now. Lawn bowls on the Mornington Peninsula is more than just a game. Station sponsor.
And we're back. Bunguyan reserve. Half the batting innings done for Muruduk, and they have done this with ease, it's got to be said. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way to TYABB, but it's been chanceless at the moment. They haven't done a whole lot wrong, it's got to be said. They just haven't been able to really get close to a wicket. As we see Hose again, that's in the air, but that's going to dodge the fielders. We're going to get an update from Neil. I think they're going to get 2 here. They absolutely are as they come back, and I'm going to test my numbers knowledge as Nilo comes back to us. Nilo?
Yeah, well, we just had Dwayne Bowden ahead of Benny Williams, 38 to 36.
Were we right with
so
76?
get an extra 2, so it takes him to 40, Bowden, and it was 79 at the end of the 10th.
79, okay. So I've missed a couple there. None for 81 now. That single, so I apologise for that. Scorers at the moment, I've got to be honest with you. Enjoying a...
They're in cruise control, really, aren't they?
Enjoying a very nice game of cricket. 52 to get. It's under a run of ball. So you got to wonder for TYABB here. None for 82 the score. You got to wonder. How many blokes do you really want to put on the fence, Nilo? They don't need to go the slog here, Muraduck. It's less than a run a ball.
They're just...
Oh, here we go. Could be a
That's
catch.
not right.
I could look really dumb. Oh, he just can't get there.
Good effort from the fieldsman.
Absolutely. He's had a tough day out. He's had a tough day out, man, out here.
He has. He's worked hard.
He's seen 3 balls go over his head. I think this is... We've got some shouts of 6, some shouts of 4. Going to go down to 6. None for 88. The score, Benny Williams. Both of these opening batsmen are just doing this for fun.
Beautiful. Oh, that's better. He doesn't need to...
Oh, mix up maybe? No, that's a poor throw coming in. May go to none for 89. So, hopefully you can join us on Saturday afternoon. Live stream beginning at 12:30. Eric Bell Reserve, Pines v Sorrento. 2 o'clock on your radio dial, 98.7 or 98.3, as that gets a bit of an under edge. And almost walked.
Fielder made him hurry just
out.
a little at the end.
Yeah, he's probably out if that hits the stumps, by the way. That's
Yes,
not
yes.
the greatest bit of running there from...
I suppose he accelerated up when he needed it. Actually, that was Dwayne at that end. Yeah.
Benny up too, by the way. I apologise, mate.
Yeah, that was Dwayne Bowden.
It was Dwayne-o. Come on, Dwayne-o. As he just opens up the shoulders and on the bounce to the man at long off.
Benny's smelling the barbecue, I think.
For a single, he is smelling beautiful down here too. So only the 43, I can do my maths, to go from Muraduck. And scorers are shouting over. The umpires are
and he's saying, well, I'm counting. He's
looking.
having a look at the guy at square leg who's absolutely got no idea what to do from there.
He's just standing there.
I'm just standing there, mate. I was supposed to count as well.
But no, we'll end the over there.
Going to end the over in the end. Yeah.
Not a bad call, but 12.
The guy at square leg who was filling in for square leg umps had enough. He's coming off.
Into the 11th over. None for 91. My goodness. If you ever want a lesson in how to do a run chase in T20 cricket, I present to you the entire Muraduck innings. And there's a man from Muraduck who's going to come give, I think, the square leg umpire a clicker, potentially.
Yeah.
No, he's going to come and fill in himself. Lovely. Well, it's been a cracker of an evening. A couple of dark clouds, but they haven't bothered us at the start. This has got, if it does go TYABB's way, this has got every bit of the Stars Renegades from a few years ago about it, because they have set one of the best platforms you'll see. As we see that flicked off the hip. They could get 2 here, but no, neither batsmen are really in a huge rush, and not that I blame them, given the quality of the chase so far. 92 without lost the score, 42 to get.
Rosebud, 5 overs to go, need 6 runs, 4 down. That's going to be a win to Rosebud.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Rosebud, good
2
win.
from 2.
Not only can you not ask for a better start than that, there actually isn't one. So well done, Rosebud. As that one's wide for Bowden, and that's hit the gap nicely. Saving a couple of runs there, the TYABB fieldsman, but they're still going to get a single. 93 without loss now from Muraduck. So what a partnership it's been between Bowden and Williams. Chanceless the entire way through.
Yep.
It's been a dominant professional start. And Williams again plays it fine. Chance at the bowler's end. No, throw too high.
Wayward, yeah.
And they're going to come back for an overthrow. That'll rub some salt into the wound, unfortunately for the Yabbies. But the throw a decent foot too high. Needed the extra power.
Baxter need 32 from 5 overs. They're chasing 125 from Balnarring, so that one's going to remain interesting.
It will. So TYABB coming off a 5-run loss to Balnarring on Saturday. Not the way they wanted to start their week. It looks like, as we see Williams play it off his pad, there's going to be another half chance. That half chance eliminated with a throw about 9 stumps wide. As we see some nice soccer skills from the man at slip. But another pretty nonchalant single takes them to 96. Without loss. Was brought to you by Bendigo Bank. Pleasure to have Telstra on as well, and local businesses on the peninsula can get involved with RPP as well, as we see Bowden just smack it down the backward square leg. Well, there's a man on the fence for a single. If you want to get involved, $19.99 a month. That's it. $20 a month, and you can get your business plastered all over the brand new RPPFM webpage, rppfmsports.com.au. Even if you're a punter that loves their peninsula sport, you can get all the shows, all the live streams, all the interviews at rppfmsports.com.au as Williams gets a single, pushes it into the pitch, fielded by the bowler.
This guy's bowling all right, but they're both set.
Yeah.
And you've really got to be able to do something to get a wicket. And they're in a position where if there is a really good delivery, they can keep it out. They don't have to try to score off everything.
Yeah, correct. Only 36 to go. And yeah, the one thing you got to do with comfortable batsmen, Nilo, I don't care if it's T20 cricket, 40 over cricket, 80 over cricket, the only thing you can do with a comfortable batsman is make them uncomfortable.
Yes, correct.
And the good bowlers have got good strategies and can execute.
Yep.
Whether you're bowling under 14s, Victoria, for Australia, for whoever, if you've got 2 batsmen or a batsman who is set, you have to think to yourself, what can I do that is going to make them less comfortable and execute to the best of your ability. So Seneth is going to come back on, the marquee player with a beautiful luminescent bandana, the Elston Wick import.
And all he needs is 4 for none off this over, and they're back in the game.
And we're on. Williams defends. That's asked some questions.
That's made him think a bit.
Forced him forward, back. His feet were kind of concreted in there, ballooned a touch. So that's a good start. Still plenty of gaps in this field. There is no one between forward square leg and fine leg. Although when you bowl to your field, you only give away a single. You can live with that, but Nilo, unless I made a big mistake in leaving my glasses at home, there's no one between forward square leg here and
correct,
and basically backward point.
Yep, and that probably makes some sense that you got to put some. Oh, hang on, now they've moved 2 blokes behind.
Yeah, but
but that's for the lefty. That's unusual. Anyway,
it tells me that their best chance of getting a wicket is a mistimed slog shot. So they've got to try and bowl it nice and straight.
Yep.
Which I don't blame them for. Have a strategy, see if it works. As Bowden goes, big waft outside off stump.
He's trying to hit that one.
He's tried
through the covers. Yeah. It's empty down on the boundary.
Worst case scenario, he's hitting it down Nilo's throat.
Well,
that kind of ball, but
I'd have had to defend the camera if it did.
Yeah, it's been a good over this.
Yeah, he's well bowled.
Yeah, only a single off it. He's kept some concrete feet in place, which we don't mind.
So the bandana is finally working.
It is. And I'll tell you what, it's clashing nicely with the burgundy as well. It all works. That's a slower delivery that Bowden's got a bit of bat on. And wow, what a chase this is going to be from point. As he comes around for a couple, and that'll bring up the ton for Muradock. No loss, 33 to get, none for 101. My word, it's been dominant, it's been chanceless. TYABB haven't done a lot wrong. I think they've only conceded 2 wides. As Bowden goes the big swing to cover for no run. He wants to end this as quickly as possible. Someone's probably told him the hot dogs are running low, and he's wanting a couple for himself, and given the smell of the Barbie, Nilo, a bit of I can't say I blame him.
Got a score from Somerville of 5 for 75 off 11.
That being Somerville chasing?
Chasing, crib points 106, so looking all right, really. 9 overs to get 30, effectively. 5 downs is the question. A couple of extra wickets makes it interesting for them, but you'd like to see Somerville at their best are very good in that sort of position. Last year they were very good, especially in the second half of the year.
Seeing the start of a new over. And that's a good down the leg side. Hit the pad. They're going to stop the single. So Nilo, if memory serves me correctly, I think this is the 14th.
I reckon it's the 14th, yeah.
We'll go with it. I think. But I don't think the time is going to be a massive factor in this one. Still 33 to get. Plenty of deliveries left.
Ooh.
And that's the second delivery in a row that's wrapped the batsman on the pads.
Oh, and there's an overthrow.
Why?
Off his own bowling. He'll think about that for a few nights. I mean, it just tightened things a little, and they're at the stage where if they actually got a wicket and get a new batsman, and there's not many overs left for the new batsman. So, yeah, it's good night.
Those are the Murdoch players, and a simple raise of the bat. He's batted beautifully. Both men have. But yes, what a lapse in concentration there. He was probably home if it hit anyway, so just hold on to it. You've got a little bit of momentum in your over, and maybe you can make something happen, but the shackles are off. So the next thing, and this is just an ego point of pride.
Yep.
These batsmen are just eyeing off being there at the end. Psychologically, a 10-wicket win.
Oh, 4. That picked up.
Hang on to the ball.
That's a secret. Especially when you've got the arm, you've got the sun behind your arm if you threw it. It makes it hard to anyone backing up.
32.
7:27 here. Shadow's getting longer, but I think we'll be okay for light.
Bowden flicks.
Put that one
four.
away.
Yeah, save your legs, mate. That's only if you're wearing a Fitbit and you count your steps. That's the only reason you'd move there. Fantastic shot. 28 to go.
And I think that's Bowden's 50. I think
well,
that. Yeah.
So only the 4 extras from TYABB. Unfortunately, they've had 4 or 5 overthrows through Nilo, which
True.
at the end of the day might not make the greatest realm of difference, as we've just seen a little misfield in the returning of the ball to the bowler, but yeah, I don't think there'd be a lot of buying into the fielding stocks of this game, unfortunately.
No, the ground fielding, even the catching's been a bit ordinary.
Bowden again, he's got an appointment, I feel like. He's got an 8:30 reservation somewhere. One of the beautiful restaurants here on the Mornington Peninsula. Too many to name, to be honest. We're spoilt for riches. Here, 1 for 107 the score. So 27 to go. We hope you've enjoyed. We know it might not have been the dynamic clash between bat and ball, but it's been an entertaining chase. Williams drops this. Chance maybe.
Well in.
Once again, something that's seeping into the Mornington Peninsula cricket is not just taking the bails off, it's as many stumps as you can.
Yeah, that's right. If you haven't got all 3 out, you're not trying.
Yeah, that's it. It's none for 108. 26 to go.
While they're setting that, I'll just double check that we've got our numbers right.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we do.
The car that's got about 3 cricket ball dents in it, given the velocity of which it was hit. Dwayne Bowden earlier is about to take off, hopefully to find another car park, but we're not too long away, you'd think, unless a disaster occurs. understand, as Nilo is about to rejoin us.
Yeah, both batsmen now on 51.
Beautiful.
And the score 108.
Oh, look out.
You were close.
I was 108.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get much closer than exactly right.
I was going to say. Getting better as the night goes on. As Seneth comes in again and Williams is struck and he's out. There we go. Tie up. It's come after 108 runs and 84 deliveries, but we have a wicket. Benny Williams, the man to depart on 51. What an opening partnership it's been. 1 for 108 the score. And the Elstonwick import gets the job done, Nilo.
He's bowled as well as anybody. He's bowled very well, I've thought, and he has worried them. We sort of talked about that idea of making him uncomfortable, and he's the one guy who did that and got the wicket. I've got a Flinders score of 6 for 77 in the 13th over, chasing 169, set up by Pearstow. You can't see Flinders winning from that position.
That would be a struggle, yep.
Somerville have just about got crib point. It's looking like a win. And I'll get an update on the Baxter run chase there. 18 overs, 5 for 112. Target 126.
Ooh.
Getting interesting.
Yeah.
Not out. Oh, they just lost a wicket or two. As Mattajay's not out and just lost a wicket, so I'm not quite sure who's coming to join him yet.
Oh, goodness. Where are we at?
And a win to Rosebud as we suspected.
Fantastic.
3 overs up their sleeve there.
Oh, that's a huge win. By Rosebud, 2 from 2. They're flying.
They are.
They're growing wings down at Rosebud. And we've just had a wicket depart. If you're just joining us, Benny Williams and Dwayne Bowden have put on a 108-run partnership. And it's taken the marquee man, my man from Elstonwick, Seneth, who's delivered nicely. I think it might be. No, it's not. Not my greatest work there, but it wasn't my man, as a full toss is presented and swatted down to long off for a single. Wasn't my man. I was looking at his beautiful luminescent bandana and I got away from him.
You've been mesmerised by that.
It is.
Yeah, it is mesmerising.
Magnificent. So 1 for 109 the score. So TYABB just, well, yeah, it's only got to take a couple. And who knows? That's the point. Who knows? Oh, nice plane going overhead, if you can hear that through the effects, Mike.
We are close to the TYABB airport, of course.
Yes. Didn't know TYABB had an airport, but okay.
Yep.
I haven't been in the peninsula long for people listening going, come on, Daz, you are allowed to leave your house once in a while. Which to that I'd say fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We see Bowden again, who, like we said, has batted like a man who's got an 8:30 appointment.
Yep. Keep ticking it on.
That's it. 1 for 110 the score. So 24 to get. We hope you've enjoyed the Bendigo Bank match of the day here on a Tuesday night. Jack Peacock Cup. As we see, that's really well fielded. That'll be a dot. A welcome sight for TYABB. We hope you've enjoyed. I'm Daz, of course. Nilo's been alongside me. The great man, Master Susovic, behind the scenes, dominating as per usual as that one gets put into the pitch. And a couple of back-to-back dots there. Nice for TYABB.
Yeah, deep in the voting, I reckon, Sus, tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
Being strong.
He broke his own personal best record for setting up tonight, so
fabulous.
That alone gets him multiple votes. As that one's tossed up, and again, 3 dots in a row. Good over here for TYABB.
Not enough pace on the ball there for the new batsman to actually work it. So
yeah, he's not able to force anything, but that's going to finish the 15th over. They're going to cross over here, so with 5 overs to go, I think we might go to a break here if Sus gives me the nod. Yes.
So we'll take a small break.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
And we're back for the final stretch of this Jack Peacock match between TYABB and Muraduck. I've got Nilo along 10 off.
Correct, and Leonage is the new bat who normally opens up for them on a Saturday, so quite a good bat. And they've got Premathalaka with the pads on. They've got Nick Williams as well. They've got a couple of whackers of the ball.
Yeah, they're wanting to finish this
I think so.
And just during the break, Nick, I'll let you know what's happening. He's going to shout. Can they get their second? They can't.
No.
We're at a bit of strike rate on Saturday. We're about 3 for 20. On Saturday afternoon when we were at Peacock and Analyzer. I think we're at about 2 for 9 tonight, so we're going all right. But one of the covers off the headset, Nilo's just decided to roll its way.
I did see that.
Under Suss's van. That's where I'm at, as Bowden smacks into the onside, but it's going to get to the man at backward square on the bounce, and Nilo's going to go for the acrobatics here. If he can reach that, he has. That's given him the 2 votes. Suss gets the 3, and frankly, I'm lucky to be here. I'm feeling like great effort.
Well, we could always give one to Rob Bowen for going to that staff meeting for 5 hours that finishes at 7 o'clock. So this must be very close to the last over for Sinead.
Been pretty decent. That one just gets pushed back to him. But yeah, 5-hour staff meetings, Nilo. That's not the way to go. There's only 2 things in this world that's worth 5 hours. Sleep and the Super Bowl.
And Pines have defeated Langwarrin.
Oh, that's brought Dazzling up to another level here on a Tuesday night, let me tell you. The Cobras, there's a chance at the bowler's end.
Ooh.
Not there. There was a run there. And quite an interesting run too. Probably should have been a chance, but we're at the quad 1s at the moment. Quad aces, 1 for 111. No, we're at 112. Come on, Daz, you're better than this. As Bowden just goes whack.
Carry or not? It's
and it is caught.
It's caught.
Well taken. The second wicket falls. They're dropping like flies.
That's
here
Robbie
at
Hearn
BUNGUYAN Reserve. That's a very nice catch. 2 for 112 the score. Nilo, it's not over till it's over. There's still 22 to get.
Absolutely. Be interesting to see how they go here. Whether they looks like Premathalaka's going to come in.
So
interesting.
Oh, yes. What? The twists and the turns. Still plenty of overs to go, so the run rate's not the problem. We're probably just wanting an exciting finish here, Nilo, and not that I can blame us.
Well, why not?
We deserve it. The people deserve it.
Yep.
Nice little smattering of crowd. Some juniors have stuck around.
Good to see.
Absolutely. Supporting your local club, of course. A couple of the TYABB juniors hopefully will be sticking around, and we'll be able to commentate them in the years to come, Nilo.
Yes,
that
they
would be fantastic.
Take over from old blokes like me, but it'd be good to see TYABB with their rooms back. They've
yes.
Rooms been redone for a good 12 or 18 months.
They've been fantastic to us tonight, so we thank them. Everyone down here at BUNGUYAN Reserve. Of course, brought to you by Bendigo Bank. Telstra have come on board as well, and you can too. The School Business Network. Package starting at just $20 a month. Can you believe that? You can pay across AFMsports.com.au as well as our live streams as we start again. So,
Yep, turn on that for a single.
Most indiscriminate singles probably seen in the 10-20 game. Came from you, did it, Suss? Okay, Suss has given us sound effect. Scott.
Wow, sensational. I was looking around for the mule.
Nilo, I didn't know what to make of that, to be honest, but that's the end of the over. So I think if we've got our numbers right, Nilo, there's only 3 or 4 overs to come.
Yeah. Holland burst back on.
21 off 24.
Okay.
8 wickets in hand. Suss is bringing the donkeys out. This is I don't know if this is usual behaviour for TYABB. Oh, it's a Shetland pony, Suss is telling me, as if I'm the fool. As if I'm supposed to know that. Grew up in Narre Warren, lived in Cranbourne for a while. I'm now in Frankston. I've got to be all over my livestock. My goodness. Suss is saying school. 40% of my high school experience was learning Mandarin. So 2 for 113.
2-1-1-3, yep.
21 off 24.
Yep.
They lost wickets in clusters, did TYABB. And then for about the first 12 overs of this run chase, Muradak just didn't lose a wicket at all.
Yep, cruise through.
So I wonder what happens here. That's a lovely shot that's beaten the man in close, but they do have a sweeper. So it'll just be a single, 114 for the loss of a couple of wickets. Been really impressive, Nilo, by Muradak.
Well, it has. They've just got to keep it going here, keep working 1s and 2s, and all of a sudden there'll be a loose ball they dispatch to the boundary, and that's it. But they don't want to get complacent on it.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's nicely placed.
Yeah, well placed.
They'll get 2.
Well, it's 2 if they want it, for sure.
Yeah, comfortable 2 in the end. And the wind is just starting to pick up here. I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable in the fact I wore jeans this evening.
Yeah, you knew. All along you
absolutely.
knew.
Short-term pain, long-term gain for Daz tonight. Because let me tell you, at about 4:30 this afternoon, it felt every bit of 32 inside the beautiful black jeans that I've got on at the moment.
It was warm.
But right now, I'm feeling like $1 million. As we see.
Oh, well dug out,
nudge
and
that.
a single. Good running. Good ball, good running.
Absolutely.
Yep.
In there, 2 for 117. 17 to come. Tons of runs. A little bit of sledging going on over there.
I think.
As long as we keep it friendly. Alrighty. Go again. I just feel like the pace is just lowered a bit in this game.
Oh,
that
might be down leg side, I reckon.
That's going to be 4.
Run hard.
5 wides.
No,
it's just held up in the grass.
It's pulled up near the end
that's
there.
That's the first ball that's
First
stopped.
it's held up, yeah.
So that's going to be wide, and I'm going to be honest, Neil, I think they got... He's just called buys, hasn't he?
He's called it 2... Did he call it leg bye? No.
Leg buys, okay.
Might have been a leg bye, yeah.
So a couple there.
Maybe got enough pad just to slow it too, because normally it's been racing to the boundary.
To his detriment.
That's a good shot, but there's a fellow out there.
There he is, he'll pick it up. So 120 now the score, 14 to get. Been a bit of a dirty day today. Apart from about an 8 over spurt in the middle of the innings, and then the 20th over. Really had momentum in this game at all. It's a slow ball down the leg side.
Oh yeah, well placed.
Like every other delivery will go.
2.
Just hold up. Timing perhaps not there.
But good placement, I thought.
Yeah, very good placement. There's been pockets. The runs on offer, if you look at a lot of the field placings, have been far outweighed the runs that have been scored, you could say, Nilo. So
yeah, true.
TYABB, you would say, probably 20 runs short.
Yeah, for a while there, when we were talking that 140 to 150 mark, if they got in there and had an extra dozen runs up their sleeve, it'd be a lot more interesting at this point.
Just feel the run out.
This must be Ho's just about his last over, I think.
Watched him absolutely rip a last quarter apart against Crew Point. Probably should be illegal to be this good at 2 sports, I'm not going to lie to you. Because he comes in and bowls. That's in
Oh,
the
well
air,
placed,
lofted,
well
but
placed, yeah. Just chip shot.
good 25 metres from the field. They will get a single. So the wind picking up a little.
Probably hear it through the mics as it is bringing right up.
Apologise if that's creating a little bit of uncomfortability. Around the live stream as Hose comes in and bowls. It's not giving them a length, but he's allowing them to go over the... which is good, because you can just sense that Muradoc want this game to end. There's not that much daylight left. That's a...
They found a gap. Probably only one.
Our man at a deep point who's unfortunately seen about 22 runs go over his head or to his left. Cut that one off.
Yeah, be happy to get a ball in his hands for a change.
Absolutely. So if our math is correct, there's only 10 runs to get, but we promise you it's less than 12. I wouldn't have missed that many. To double check. At the end, that's in the air.
And a gap there.
Yeah.
A long chase, at least two.
Yeah, I'll settle for two. When you've got the Daz jog about you as a batsman, I can tell you that you're not pushing altogether too. 26 for 2 to score, 8 to get. As Hose comes in, and that's short and wide. I don't know what that's come off, but it's going to be another long chase for the man down at square leg. And again, it's going to be 2. Oh, that's close. Wow, that is lackluster running. Saved by not much. But let me tell you, I wouldn't be advertising that running style. That pace is going to get you into a bit of trouble. The longer this tournament goes on, and not a fantastic habit for cricketers. I'm going to be diving across the line there. Nilo's either going to tell me I'm a genius or an idiot, so I'm looking forward to this. Nilo.
128.
Yes. Come on.
In the 19th, as you said too, Daz.
Yeah, beautiful. Get around me. Seriously, if I could buy personal stock, I'd just chuck 1,000 on me at this point. 6 to get.
Oh, no, that's sloppy.
6.
I really should have just worked it for the single.
So there's only about... There's an over left.
1 over left.
6 off 6?
Yes.
Well, this has become...
far more interesting than it should have been.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
Muradoc
the way
at the
I
moment,
put it.
yeah, they've just slowed down. It's kind of creeped up on us.
A win to Somerville, as we anticipated.
Guilty. That's 2 from 2 since I've jumped on board, I'm telling you. Anyone out there?
Looks like a win to Sorrento. That hasn't finished there yet. Rosebud have had a win. A win to Somerville, as I said. Pearcedale going towards a win. Pines have already won against Langwarren.
Tell you what, Pines and Sorrento, that sets up a beauty on Saturday.
Good game
I think
Saturday.
it's a 2-day game, Nilo, though. So
Yes.
yeah, so we're not going to have the...
Well, it'll be interesting. The first two-day game, first chance to bat for 80 overs for 3 years virtually.
And Pines, Sorrento, who does that favour? I know you're a big on Pines being a more 80-over team, given they've got some patient middle-order batsmen.
And very tidy bowling lineup too. Yeah, look, I think it gives them more of a chance. Well, same token, Sorrento's been in the last 3 grand finals, so they're probably only missing 1 player from that side. The key to the game, I would think, would be the first few overs when Pines play Sorrento. If they get a couple of early wickets, that gives them really in the game. You'd probably think Sorrento start slightly favoured, but...
So we had an hour 25 minutes for the first innings. We're at an hour 15 again. And I reckon
done well.
The in between the 19th and the start of this over has taken up about 8 minutes of that. Extraordinary.
Robbie Hearn on again to bowl the
First
last
ball
over.
outside edge. Oh no, 6 off 5. Pressure.
Oh.
Ho. I hope you've got that right, Neil. Otherwise,
Yep.
I might be getting a bit too
you're
excited
right.
for no reason. Okay.
Absolutely correct.
6 off 5, and they're only 2 down. So
yep.
They really did take the foot off the pedal after
I reckon
about the 13th over.
Yep.
6 off 5 required. What a finish. They're going to
That's
get runs
better,
here.
that's better.
They got to go for 2.
They've got to have a crack.
Sacrifice one of your set batsmen.
No, they didn't.
Oh, no. Leave runs on the
okay.
table. 5 off 4.
Yeah, they were certainly thinking about it, and in the end decided not to.
This is going to be a finish.
It is. No need to be. Even a tie is on the table here, Daz.
Yep. Another plane overhead, but
Yep.
the Yabbies have come from oblivion almost, and have set up a final over extravaganza. A boundary will finish it, essentially. Here we go. That's a full toss. It's well played in the end, but it's going to be a dot. 5 off 3.
Hearn stopped it. Yeah, they've pulled those outfieldsmen in a bit just to say, well, he can probably hit a single.
This is tense.
If he can get through the gap, it is a 4 though.
Oh, that's
that one,
rubbish, but it's safe.
Spilled it. Run, spilled it. And
he's going to be safe. So at the end of the day, it's 4 off 2.
Yeah. Wow.
Stopped it. As far does the wicket ultimately matter? I mean, you would say yes, but it didn't get past him.
They got a run.
So it's still a win, yep.
They've still got a run.
Yeah. Geez, this has been...
drop backers at the boundary that... Now you've got to think about where you put your field, because the boundary is all over, so he's dropping them back. That makes sense. 4
off 2 required.
It was good to have him in before, but you've got to be back a little now.
This has come from nowhere. We were all but packing up.
We were.
It looked like full toss in the air.
Is it going to be caught, or is it 4?
No, that's it.
4 runs, and it's all over.
Wow. A hit over mid-wicket, a full toss, and she's all over. Even the planes are celebrating as they go overhead. But it's a win for the Ducks.
1 ball to spare.
They did it the hard way, but a fantastic win, all set up by a good bowling effort and a fantastic 108-run opening partnership. It may have taken them a bit long to get there, but they've got there with a ball to spare. Thank you so much for joining us from Bunguyan Reserve. Thank you to Bendigo Bank for bringing us the Jack Peacock Cup game. Nilo, a big thanks to you. You've collected the 2 votes tonight. Our great Master Susovic, he's grabbed the 3. He was outstanding tonight. We hope you've enjoyed. Please join us on Saturday, Pines v Sorrento. Another shout out to the Mornington News Group as well. And until next time, this has been RPP FM.